hair is so good. Oh my god. Oh, get me out of here. Continue dropping out the Reavers right in front on the front lines here. Beautiful Storm on the back of the play goes off onto actually everything.
Oh, this could.
Reavers getting focused down.
Still dealing a lot of damage. Even if all they do is kill turrets, that's fine.
Yeah, we still don't have +1 done for them yet, so I feel like maybe you hold off for a second, but there we go. You see +1 hit right as that volley came off. Oh, look at those Yamatos. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the BSL, the Bombastic StarLeague out there. I'm Rapid with Nyoken, and we're back for the best group you've ever seen. The group of death, Group D.
Group D, it's got my financial advisor.
Oh, that's right. It's got my insurance salesman and accountant in it. Really well-dressed group today. And also, they're so good at StarCraft. Now, we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do. So, we need to beg for your forgiveness. Well, Zero does, but we're doing it for him. Yesterday, when we were watching Dragon play his epic series while he booster rocketed out of the group, we lied to you. Unfortunately, they sent us the replays out of order, so it looked like Dragon just won 2-0 and was out of there. Oh, Gorinich won 2-0. Sorry, it's fake news, guys. Anyway, but unfortunately, we missed a game. So because they sent us the replays out of order, we showed 2 wins, and obviously that's it. It's a best of 3. But unfortunately, there was a replay at the end that should have been in the middle because it was a 2-1 victory. So anyway, not to spoil anything, but we did want to do justice to the games that our players played in the tournament. And so we'll be starting out with by broadcasting that one game that we missed yesterday and then go into tonight's groups. So you get a bonus game. You're getting your money's worth tonight.
Yeah, so Dragon versus Gorinich, we're going to see game 2.
Yeah.
We're going to see Dragon power through the second game to bring it to that third one.
Yeah. So just think back to yesterday, and if you didn't watch yesterday, you can actually pause things today, go back and watch yesterday, and then catch back up when you come back. I don't recommend that. Just keep watching. The games are going to be good, and that's why we're going to show them to you. So we're going to start off by showing you the second game from Dragon versus Gorinich from yesterday. And then once we finish that, with Gorinich up 1-0, then we're going to move on to Group D, and it'll be great. So we could just go ahead and get right into it. The map is Monte Cristo. We've seen it quite a few times by now. And to take you back, Gorinich is up 1-0. And yeah, looks pretty strong. Let's see what happens in game number 2. Okay, all right, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner in the red is our Zerg player, Gorinich.
And in the blue, in the bottom right, it is our Canadian Protoss player, Dragon. So we've already seen game 1 and 3, and we already saw Gorinich had solved Dragon, going for the defensive 4 base. Now, because we know the result of this game, I'm curious if Gorinich deviates here. Does he get punished, doesn't go for defensive 4 base, but it is Monte Cristo. So actually, this is one of the maps you cannot just take the nat at the low ground and take 4 base.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's only like 5 bases per player. Yeah. So what, are you just gonna take them all at the beginning of the game? So yeah, you can't go for that style. And that was what was so interesting about watching Gorinich play, is because he actually did, I felt like, not quite as well as I expected him to be doing, but at this point he's up 1-0 against Dragon, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. As far as builds go, I don't think we saw anything super weird, but this is definitely different. We're not having 12 pool, that over pool. This is just 9 pool with, I guess, gas. Was he not going to make gas there?
No, 9 pool with the extractor trick.
Ah, that's right.
So it's gonna be a little faster than the over pool. And Dragon, something I'm noticing here is we're not scouting for Dragon, and that means he's not blocking the nat. Is he just going straight Nexus first? Now remember, we talked about this before the game started.
Wait, is this 12 Nexus or 11?
No, 11 Nexus.
Yeah, what is it? Is this is like the third time we've seen 11 Nexus?
This is actually the third time we've seen 11 Nexus, and these players just really want to get up that Nexus as fast as possible. And is this game just done?
Well, see, this is the exact same conversation. You guys don't have deja vu when we saw this the first time, because you shouldn't, like, you can't really do this because you have to do this without information. And there's like 2 or 3 builds that just kill you. One of them is kind of 9 pool because it's really fast and aggressive. You're gonna have the lings across the map very, very quickly. There they are, and there's no forge, there's no cannons, there's nothing.
He's gonna even catch the probe, I think. Cannons instantly going up. This probe needs to block and buy some time. Now, Monte Cristo is actually kind of a far travel distance. It looks like it's pretty close, but you gotta remember, you gotta go up to the high ground, then back down to the low ground. So actually, this cannon looks like it's going to get up, and there's a gateway SimCity, and there's no capability for the lings to get around the side. It's only the probe entrance right there that they can get in. So actually, this looks like a really sick. Look at the timing of this.
This has to be very well timed out. So, I mean, maybe you lose a probe. Oh no, who cares? But actually, that cannon in the back comes up, like you said, just perfectly at the last second. Ling's trying to get in, but that probe block, exactly the number he needed. 3 probes. I hope you guys are writing this down in your build order notebook, because if there's a map where you can get up an 11 Nexus against the 9 pool, I mean, that's pretty good.
Now, Dragon did lose 2 probes. He did have to pull multiple probes. But in response to this, Gornich going straight into 3 hatch before gas. We've been seeing everybody go for a pretty quick lair. Meanwhile, Gornich has deviated here with the 9 pull into 3 hatch. So I don't think we're going to see a Hydra bust here because of the high ground. You don't have really good vision onto the net. So I feel like we're probably going to power here into lair. But look how far along Dragon's tech is. Like, the cybernetics is almost done. Gornich isn't even mining gas.
Yeah, this is not a great start. So, I mean, any Zerg player, when you go for an aggressive opening, you're not going to have very good economy. But let's see if he blocks the probe. He gets it. Oh my God. That's so perfect. You don't know what those drones were doing there.
Yeah, it could have been they're waiting to build a hydrogen. It could have been trying to just build a sunken. Could have been a hatchery. So, good catch from Gornich. And this is actually the first time that he caught the probe in the series. Dragon yesterday was getting 5-minute scouts with his first probe. So really nicely done for Gornich. We do see Dragon standard follow-up Stargate, no straight Citadel. And he still doesn't know what Gornich is actually doing. I don't think he saw the 3rd hatch. Actually, there is a Hydra den. So I guess Gornich realizes that, hey, I can't get my lair up, I can't get my Spire up, so he's gonna build at least a couple Hydras. So we'll have to wait and see what he wants to do with this. I don't think this is 973 yet. We'll have to wait and get a drone count. But I think that is speed coming in for him. So it looks like he may actually try and bust.
Yeah, so I would kind of expect that. I mean, there is a wall. You can also bust the eggs down to make it even less of a wall. But I think the bigger idea is, like, the wall doesn't keep you from getting up on the high ground. It's not like it's right at the ramp. Can you imagine if you could build a wall and there's just like a ramp right below it? That would be pretty good. So you can actually get up there. I'm not totally clear as to whether or not the Hydras with range are still on low ground. I think they would be. I'd have to look at that. But anyway, if it is, and it does look like it is going to be a 3-hatch Hydra bust of some sort. I'm not sure if there's a drone count to this, but we're going 3-hatch.
Yeah, 3-hatch Hydra. We've got first Zerg coming out. It should get in here and see exactly what's going on. He sees the first Hydra already out, so he already knows. But Dragon's build is really streamlined. He's already got Citadel almost done. He's going to be getting speed pretty quickly. He didn't lose much to the 9 pool, just 2 probes. He's already gotten a couple cannons up. So this looks like this is a golden strategy for Dragon. I see him holding this very easily. He's got high ground cannons versus no range Hydras.
And he saw it way ahead of time, so he knows exactly what to do. You actually, I think you are going to be low ground if you have an arc of Hydras outside here. So you're going to need, like, I mean, maybe you don't need an Overlord for high ground vision, but yeah, this is not the best place to bust with Hydras for sure.
Yeah, now...
Yeah, look at that cannon range.
That cannon can range it. So he's not even going to be able to pick off the Forge, I don't think, unless he's really committing to this. So this is already a fantastic opener for Dragon. He's got Sares that cannot be defended right now, at least not versus straight Overlord. So that's going to be a dead Overlord. A drone round coming in, that's not going to save this Overlord. Hydra's coming back to try and save it, may actually defend it for now. So what is Gornich's follow-up going to be? I'm assuming probably a couple more hatches. I don't think he can go into lair right now. He just needs to pump out as many units as possible. Meanwhile, Dragon's +1 weapon is almost done. His speed, I think, should be... Oh, actually, did he just go straight into...
Oh, he's going for it. Okay, well, here we go. How many, I don't know, Hydras to the center of a Protoss base? I mean, losing all the Lings, you can just see this is not going to work. There's too many cannons. He's got like 5 cannons.
Well, I think it would have been okay if he pops that cannon just to focus down the forge, but he doesn't have enough to actually get it. Now, Dragon needs to be careful not to lose these zealots.
Yeah, he does have Hydra range done. He catches a Corsair, and that's pretty big because he can keep the Overlord out there.
Yep. So we do have 5 hatch Hydra. He is trying to bust down the forge or the gate, but now that the forge upgrade is done, this is not really worth. I think Gordon should just turn around, be content with what he got, which is 1 cannon, forced out of multiple cannons from Dragon. We did see Storm is already done. I don't see any Templars just yet for Dragon, though. But once those come out, they're going to start making a lot of energy. There's no lair, so there's no Spire, there's no Lurkers, and Dragon already has 6 gate up. So this is fantastic for Dragon. Second Forge coming in. Been seeing that more and more often, so it's going to be going into 2-1. And Gornich is in real trouble with no lair tech. Even range coming in. How are you going to stop this with literally just pure Hydra?
Yeah, I mean, Hydras are good, but I feel like a lot of, you know, Zergs let their Hydra printer go burr, you know? So it's not the cure-all unit. You definitely need some Lings to block the Zealots, because otherwise they're just way too good once they have +1 in speed. But you can't even go like mutas here, because you won't be able to get them out in time. They just won't do what they're supposed to. So yeah, bunch of gates, +1 actually. Okay, it's just now. Oh no, it's 2-1 just now started.
Yeah, 2-1 going for Dragon, and I like how he prioritized weapon in the main. So if that forge at the front somehow gets picked off, at least it's not the overwhelmingly more important upgrade of +2 weapon versus +1 armor. So we do have robotics coming in. I mean, everything is great for Dragon. He honestly doesn't even need the robotics right now, but he's going to have Observer on time. Yesterday, there were a few moments that we saw in certain games where the Observer was late. Everything looks great for Dragon. He's already got Storm. He's banking it up. He's got Goons coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if once he gets like 2 or 3 rounds of Goons, he just goes. And I'm looking at the third base. There's no ramp to actually save it. You're going to have a lot of surface area there. That seems like the best place for him to attack.
Yeah, so I totally agree. I think that's the best place to attack from, but I'm more curious about how how he's going to kind of right the ship from the economy, because nothing this game is like what you would expect, because the Protoss Nexus was so fast, he took actually 0 damage. Sure, he had to build like a bunch of cannons, but when you get that fast to Nexus, that's probably okay in the end. And the tech is just so fast here from, well, it's not high tech, but it's good tech from the Protoss. So, I mean, these speed lots with 2-1 are just going to run Hydras over.
Yeah, and 2-1 is about halfway done. We've got Dragon finally moving out. He skipped speed for a long time to get all of his buildings up faster, get Storm out faster. Now, Lurker upgrade has completed, but we did see Robotics is already done for Dragon, so he's going to have an Observer in time. Gornich is feeling confident, though. He's going to take bottom left. And if we look at the supplies, Dragon's up about 35 supplies, so he's got a sizable lead, but it's not as huge as I was actually thinking it was going to be after the Hydra attack failed. The 9 pool didn't really work out that well. So, Dragon is going to have a tough time actually busting through Hydra Lurker on high ground ramps, I guess. He may be content with just expanding behind it and just going into a long macro game. We'll have to wait and see how much damage he can actually get. You know, yesterday we had somebody attack up high ground with mass goons.
Yeah, they just threw away their whole army.
And Zerg just threw away their whole army. They stood in Storm, so we may have a repeat of
that. Yeah, okay, that was, so if you guys missed yesterday's group, and this is from yesterday's group, we missed a replay, just to clarify. The big hallmark of so many of those games is just not moving your Hydras out of Storm. We saw so many insane Storms, so the lesson to learn, picking off another Corsair, that's 2 this game. So, yeah, Dragon losing those Corsairs is another maybe hallmark, but move your Hydras out of Storm is the moral of the story. And there are quite a few Hydras, Storms out there. I think he has like 3 or 4 High Templar.
We've got 3 or 4 High Templar. We've got a flank from the back. He's trying to catch some some Templars with his Hydras, at least forces out a storm there, catches a goon for free.
Oh, see, another actually massive storm. He does move, but most of those Hydras are very, very low. More Zealots running over those Hydras on hold position. I think those Hydras are actually going to have to, run away. But this allows Dragon to push further out on the map and take control of that high ground platform.
Yeah, Dragon has a huge army, 150 supply.
That's like 5 or 6 High Templar.
Yeah, and they've been banking energy for a while. And now he has the 2-1 power spike. But Gorinich is no slouch either. He's got 50 drones. His econ is rolling. He's got 4 base. The goon count is so high. Damn, that's a huge drone transfer to bottom left. So he's going to have a big power spike there. Big econ jump. But Dragon's taking his 3rd base. And now that he has map control, could think about taking 4 base. But we talked about this yesterday. Zerg's so hard to break. So even though Dragon's going to have 4 bases, where does he actually attack now? We've got Mass Sunken, Mass Lurker everywhere. We haven't seen Reavers PVZ in a long time. It's just been Gateway Man.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of Protoss don't like Reavers. I mean, maybe they're attracted by the ability to push the 1 storm button and it kills everything instead of having to micro a Reaver in a shuttle. I mean, yeah, so the lack of splash, or it's not that there's a lack of splash damage, just that, storms run out eventually. But he has so many of them, this is going to be almost impossible to stop.
Here we go. He's going to attack up high ground, but I don't see that work. Oh, instead he's going to catch Lurkers and Fighters in the back.
Oh, no. Those are Jadong Lurkers. They don't know how to dig. So big storms on the high ground. You just keep mass storming. All the Hydras go down, or all the Lurkers go down. He's got like 1 left. He does have his Observer right there on top of it. So even though there's reinforcements coming through, that's actually a lot of Lurkers, though.
That is a ton of Lurkers, and with Hydras hitting from the back, the Dragoons have to engage the Hydras or the Lurkers. Lurkers are actually getting off big shots, but the Storm is huge too.
Oh my god, insane storms. He does still have some Lurkers to go through, but each one of those are going to be like 1 hit. Yeah, he's got 1 more hit. There it goes. Pop goes the Lurker, and the army's not as strong as it used to be. There's no more Zealots. Just Dragoons, a couple of empty High Templar. But he kills the Lurkers before they're burrowing. These rallied Hydras are not coming. Okay, the flank Hydras are actually the ones doing most of the heavy lifting. But again, a beautiful storm. Where does he get this energy from? It's insane.
So many units from Dragon. All that. Oh, a great storm on the drones wipes out half of them. And the goons are fizzling out, but Dragon is streaming across the map. But has Dragon done it? It looks like the storms are just too good.
How does he get this many storms? It's insane. So he storms everything into oblivion. He's going to have some Archons after these High Templar finish morphing, and they are going to come up because there's just not enough rallying in here for Gorinich.
Yeah, Dragon doesn't see his army at the 3rd base. He has so many units just sitting there. That's going to be the saving grace for Gorinich, because Gorinich is down like 80 supply. He only has 60 supply, but he's going to hold it off for now. You can see Dragon has finally found his units, and now he's sending them. I still think Dragon just plows through here easily. He's up so many. He's up so much supply. Gorinich really has nothing. What is that? The whole army? 5 Hydras? That's it?
Yeah, especially knowing that you just lost so much in that fight, moving out should not be on top of your list. The other thing is that he's not resunkening, knowing that there's probably another attack coming in. So he's going to try, but that drone is useless. He does have a high ground advantage if he wants to fight there, but he's not. Okay, now pulling back to that high ground with double sunken. That is not the place you want to attack. I think he's just go to the 3rd base, right? But he's trying to plow into the natural.
He's trying to get through the nat, and there are a few sunkens there, but honestly, I don't think it really matters where he goes. He just has so much supply. He has an overwhelming amount of units. It's like 140 to 60. The Hydras are doing as well of a job as they can, but all the sunkens fall. Hatches are falling left and right. Meanwhile, behind this, it's not like Dragon's all in. He's got his 4th base going up at top right. There's no more storm, though. Lurkers might save the day.
See if he can focus them down in time. Wow, those spines just massacred the Zealots. +2 range, so this is quite a bit of damage they're going to be doing. And Hydras don't... Wait, okay, that's it. Ta-da! That's the game. I actually didn't think that it was going to go down like that, because I felt like they were pretty even at the end, but, Gorinich lost a lot.
Yeah, Gorinich just lost too many units to the storms. We saw that happen all day long. It's like they just could not dodge a storm. And he recovered well. Like, he had 50 drones versus 55 probes after a failed 9 pull, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. 4 bases going. It looked like he was set up everywhere, but Dragon, he just found the one opening at the 3rd. We were talking about that, and he plowed through just like that.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. Don't say we never did anything for you. That's the missing game that we should have showed yesterday, but didn't because reasons. So that's going to do it for the games from yesterday. So now we get to move on to the show. This is what you guys came here for. It's Group D, the group of death. And after this, we'll have, because this is the end of the round of 16, we'll be moving on to the round of 8. So we can go ahead and show you guys what the round of 8 looks like so far. We've got, by far the best 8 players here. We've got Merino, Goranic, TT1, Terror, Oya, and True Touch. And so we've got guys like True Touch and Terror who are BSL champions. Oya, who looked super insane in his group yesterday. So no surprise to see him here. TT1, the god, did it again.
He did.
Overcame all odds to make it into the round of 8. And after an insane performance last season, he's back. So is it real?
He might be back.
So the winner of Group D is going to play in TT1. Second place is going to play there in the bottom bracket. So it's looking like a really insane round of 8. And we still have 2 spots to fill in from the round of 16. So let's show you guys what our bracket looks like today. It's Group D. It's the final group of the round of 16. And we've got, I want to say, the sickest players in BSL so far. We call it the group of death because we have Bonnet and DeWalt, BSL champions. Then we've got Kogut, who is an insanely good Terran player from Poland. Oh, and Gosu Dark. No. So Gosu Dark definitely deserves to be here. He defied a lot of people's expectations to make it past the round of 24 into the round of 16. He's got a super wacky, aggressive kind of style. I don't know, how would you characterize Gosu Dark, Nyoken?
Very wild. Like when I play him on ladder, you scout him, he's got 1 gate. Like, okay, it could be Reaver, it could be BT. Then it's 4 gate speed solid. It's like, what?
Yeah.
He just has so many. So he's going to be very dangerous versus Kogut. And then PvP is also very volatile. So you never know. He might be the dark horse for this group.
Yeah, I don't know how to, this is what makes it a group of death, is because, a lot of people are just like, wow, 4 strong players makes a group of death, right? Not always, because that can be kind of predictable. It's like, wow, all the games are just going to be good. But now you don't know. Some of the games could be terrible. So it's a group of death, not only because the players might die, but also the fans' expectations might die. So it should be really exciting. And beyond that, I feel like we hype up that Bonnet is this super Gosu god guy, and then he never plays in his group because he waited until the very last group. So we went through the whole round of 24, the whole round of 16, and we never get to watch Bonnet play. So tonight, we're getting him out of retirement. We're making him come play some games for our amusement, and they better be good. So hopefully he listens to us. And don't forget, he's playing, oh, by the way, DeWalt. This guy is the winner of BSL Season 3. That was 2017. I can't even remember that far.
I can't either, man. But Bonnet versus DeWalt, this is going to be an epic match because there are games that I watch between these 2 players, and DeWalt has it. I'm like, he can't lose. And then we just see the God micro from Bonnet somehow miraculously turn it around.
Yeah.
So this could finally be DeWalt's time, because I feel like almost every season we see DeWalt versus Bonnet, maybe not in BSL, but some other tournament I see them face off. And it's just always like back and forth, but Bonnet seems to have like the over slightly wins more. So maybe this time it's DeWalt's time, and he could potentially send Bonnet out in first round, really, for him in top 16.
I mean, yeah, don't forget what happened. Actually, the last couple of groups, you kind of think you know who's going to come out on top. And then, oh, by the way, it doesn't happen. And that's really, it's been really surprising. Very hard to predict the last couple of groups. This group also hard to predict, but because basically anybody could win, even Gosu Dark in our second series. So that could be another upset to watch for. But either way, this is just going to be the Battle Royale, the Battle of the Badasses, Bonnet versus DeWalt, the best Protoss player from Poland versus the best Protoss player from Russia. It can't get better than this. It also starts on the map Monte Cristo. A lot of people won't like to talk about PvP being a coin flip, and then you have maps like Gladiator, where 0 people know how that game's going to go. It's just a total random cluster, but this one is actually really interesting. 2-player map. You got tons of unique high ground on those platforms that make it really hard to move around. And it's PvP, so truly anything could happen. These guys are both insanely high MMR. They're both monsters in BSL. Can't wait to watch them play.
Yeah, so let's just get into it. Monte Cristo is our first map. DeWalt versus Bonnet. I'm hyped for this. Can Bonnet take out DeWalt, or is it DeWalt that's going to finally get some revenge on Bonnet?
All right, let's do it. Game number 1 of the BSL Group D, the round of 16 starts right now. All right, here we go. In the upper left, in the blue, playing Protoss, this is DeWalt.
And in the bottom right, we have our current BSL champion. It is Bonnet.
The Dad Toss.
The Dad Toss. So let's see if Dad Toss has got any new moves for us. DeWalt, we saw the profiles.
Yeah.
Did you see the MMRs? It was like 2440 versus 2426. So I'm looking at the rankings. I'm like, okay, so these are the number 1 and number 2. No, it was number 5 versus number 6. So MMRs are crazy high this season. Now, are we going to see any crazy builds? Because generally, I don't think 12 Nexus is a viable PvP build.
Yeah,
but
that's a TT1
with
build.
the scouting bases so far, with the Nat so far ahead, with high ground advantage, maybe we'll see somebody go for 12 Nexus here.
Yeah, I mean, 12 Nexus is maybe not the way to get ahead in PvP. I think maybe the standard way to go would be like 2-gate obs or something, but if it's coming in, then TT1's going to be smiling.
It looks like we might actually have it because Bonnet is scouting fast. There's no gate, and he's queuing up a bunch of probes. So this is actually going to be a 12 Nexus, and this is a I've never played this map, but just thinking about it, you've got high ground advantage. It's a long map to scout on.
You've even got those eggs to make the choke point. Yeah. Actually, I mean, you see the eggs, but they actually block a much larger area around them than just the actual eggs. It doesn't look like a wall, but it actually makes walling there very, very easy. Here comes the probe from DeWalt. It will see, to his shock and horror, that there is a Nexus there. So you got 2 choices. You go across the map and kill the guy. He's only got 1 gateway to do it with. Or you try to throw down a Nexus of your own, and then you're just behind.
Well, DeWalt is having a similar idea, except he's playing a bit safer. He went gateway first with a Zealot, but you see he's not mining gas. So he's going to follow up with the Nexus for himself. We'll have to see how much damage he can get done with this Zealot. Now, because Bonnet didn't set up any type of SimCity at his Nat, this Zealot is 100% getting into the main of Bonnet. We'll have to see how much damage can get done. First Zealot is starting to move out. Gateway is not done for Bonnet just yet, but it's about to finish. So he's going to need to queue up a Zealot pretty quickly.
I can't even tell you how crazy this is. The scariest thing you can do in PvP is build a Nexus. It just defines the entire landscape of the game. But this time, we're kind of short-circuiting all the rules we know about PvP. So it's not a scary thing to build a Nexus because both players built it early on. And so now none of those rules really, oh, Manor Pylon, wow. Wow, you're so good. Wow, you're cool. You must be really fun at parties. Nice.
Ooh.
No, watch him go for the 3rd one. You can't. He wouldn't do that. No.
Well, here comes that Zealot, and Manor Pylon is so annoying to deal with. DeWalt may actually get some damage done. So even though Bonnet has this Nexus, no benefit to him. All these probes are locked up. Probably going to cancel that second one. Oh, the bottom pylon wasn't actually taken out. Did he just kill his own probe? Oh no, DeWalt actually picked up, or Bonnet picked off that probe.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty darn close. He's actually mining, the probe went around and started mining from the back. Did he block that with a pylon?
Yeah, he blocked the Zealot in, but DeWalt still hit him with a jab from downtown and knocked out that one probe with the last hit. So DeWalt has his own Nexus up. He's transferring probes, which Bonnet can't do yet because of the Manor Pylon. So good, really good play from DeWalt with the Manor Pylons locking in so many probes. Good defense from Bonnet. But now DeWalt has his cybernetics to match Bonnet's. He's up workers. He's up about 2 workers, actually. So DeWalt's in a fantastic position.
Yeah, I mean, you think about like the timing on their next side, and you're like, well, he got it. Here's Nexus up first. Manor Pylons make a super big difference because you can't use your Nexus if you can't put probes there. So from now on, where does this game even go? This is bonkers to see such fast economic openings, because in most PvP, if you just have one less Dragoon than your opponent, you die, like the game just ends. So now none of that's true anymore. You've got a huge economy compared to where you're used to being in PvP. You don't have to worry about this big risky expansion coming later on. And they can probably take a lot of liberty teching up way further than you might normally see Protoss be able to do.
Okay, so even though, oh wow, Boneth has very few probes at his natural, so it's really undersaturated in comparison to DeWalt's nat, but he's undersaturated in the main. So DeWalt accidentally transferred too many. Boneth accidentally didn't transfer enough. So actually, one way Boneth could have gotten back into this game was to, oh, it looks like he's transferred enough now. But I am a little worried for DeWalt since he transferred so many there that he's not mining as efficiently as he could in the main. But we do see a third gate going up for him. We do have robotics also coming in for DeWalt. So everything looks pretty standard. We don't see any type of Citadel play or Templar. Archive, Boneth is going to match the 3-gate. And it looks like they're just going to play passive for now. And we may see one of these players take a third base pretty quickly.
I mean, that would be shenanigans. I don't know. This game really throws all the traditional builds out the window, because you can never expect to get such an even high econ start in PvP. If you do, you're going to lose a lot of PvPs. Also, ever since TT1 called the 12 Nexus, I'm trying to keep up with his calls here. So currently, we're looking for carriers. Now, remember when we had that interview with Boneth about carriers? We were asking him, like, is this good? And he's like, yeah, actually, carriers in PvP is not bad. TT1 said the same thing. I still think they're actually horrible. That's in normal PvP, not ones where you start out with a free Nexus and no Rush 20.
Oh, I used to play carriers all the time in PvP. You just sit on your ramp. They think that you're doing like DT or something like that. Then you show up with carriers. But the thing is Protoss has the biggest counter to carriers. They have scouts, they have stasis, and then they have something that a lot of people don't even think about: mind control. Oh, you just straight up take their carrier. That is such a huge counter to carriers that carriers are actually just dreadful in this matchup. So we're definitely not going to see carriers. If we see carriers, I would be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, mind control is still a thing even without carriers, because a lot of times you'll have shuttles running around. If you mind control the shuttle, you get everything in the shuttle. So if we play these, like, it's like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? If you're going to be that guy running your shuttle around, eventually that's going to happen to you, and you're going to feel a little bit of a dum-dum. So, don't count it out just yet. This is going to be a really cool game. You're not going to see too many more PvPs like that, even today in a 3 Protoss group.
Well, I'm looking at the probe count for each player. DeWalt is up a considerable amount now, 5 to 7 workers for him. Supplies are very even. Both players are going for Gateway Reaver. So we're going to see tons of goons, tons of Reavers. It always comes down to who can micro the shuttle and Reaver the best. And we know that Boneth is the king of micro, so DeWalt's going to have his work cut out for him. But for now, I like his position much better. Boneth catches DeWalt's observer, but neither player is really doing anything. They're both content sitting on their side of the map. I wonder if either one will end up taking the island now that both players have lost vision of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you've got shuttles out. Reavers coming in for DeWalt, very exciting. Same thing for Boneth, and maybe that's even more exciting. But anytime you have shovels, you can go take that island to Expo. But that means that we play this wacky air battle where we're running around trying to drop everywhere, and that means that we could have Protoss air in the future. But here come those Reavers we were talking about earlier, and
Boneth's the one that's out of position. DeWalt saw him move out, and now he's going to be able to drop the main. But that means that DeWalt is going to have to fend off an attack with no Reavers, but he does have high ground.
Yeah, high ground is going to make a big difference. It's double Reaver for Boneth, but single Reaver being dropped in the mineral line by DeWalt. We're going to have to watch this drop come in. Here it comes. There's so many probes here. Oh my God, this is going to kill everything.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God. 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 Okay, well, that was... Wait, what?
But the double Reaver...
Oh, there it is! Every probe dead, basically. Now, he does have to hold the high ground, which is very, very difficult.
I mean, there's still a couple of pros there. Go back and kill him.
DeWalt's dead. He actually just doesn't even have that many goons.
But he's coming back with a shuttle. He can hit those sniper shots from the
my
backside.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, he's taking so much damage.
He just had a Reaver pop out in the main, but you're right. He is taking catastrophic damage. This Nexus is starting to take some hits. His Dragoons are on hold position. He's got to pull those back away from the Reavers.
His army comp just can't fight this. There's so many goons for Bonnet.
He dropped the Reaver like kind of way out of position. The Dragoons are just going to snipe it.
That's a huge hit on the Bonnet's Reaver. Oh, he saves it, and DeWalt's actually going to lose everything, and Bonnet is going to take this game.
Yeah, that's it. GG. Damn. Okay, so this is why we don't believe in building Nexi in PvP, because at the end of the day, it's still insanely hard to defend your Nexus. And even though DeWalt got so many glorious pro kills, the sound of dying pros, just a real glorious thought. You still got to not die.
Yeah, it was the probe count, really. He was up like 12 probes at the end. Supplies dead even. But that was all made up in goons from Bonnet. You saw how many goons he had compared to DeWalt?
Well, he also had double Reaver.
Well, he had double Reaver. And while he was migrating in Bonnet's main, he wasn't really doing anything with his goons. So a little too much econ for DeWalt, but he was in a good position. But it just seems like Bonnet just always... He just has DeWalt's number in tournament. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it is sort of a kryptonite. I mean, either way, we're watching two of the best, if not the two best, Protoss players outside Korea right now. They're so good. Anything that happens, I'm just gonna fanboy super hard. So if you want to call me biased or whatever, I'm like, yes, I'm biased towards good games. Wow, so sick. That's only game number 1. That was Monte Cristo. What's the map coming up next? It is La Mancha. Okay. So this is kind of doing away with all those shenanigans. It's a 4-player map. Maybe that means you're more likely to go for a 12 Nexus.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's obviously much bigger. It has those ramps in the middle, which kind of prevent you from just moving across the map like you would, Protoss. But I think the biggest thing for me is that this is a better indication of maybe who the better Protoss player is, because it's a lot more normal.
Yeah, well, we'll see if DeWalt can turn it around. He's down 1-0. Bonnet is up in the series. And, I really liked DeWalt's position in the initial phases, but he powered a little too hard and Bonnet caught him. So let's see if he can turn around in game 2 on La Mancha.
All right, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner. Are we changing the colors, please? Okay, there we go. In the red, from Russia, this is DeWalt.
And in the bottom right, in the blue, up 1-0, it is DeWalt's nemesis, Bonnet. So La Mancha is one of those maps where you're really, kind of stuck at your natural, and there's a huge arc trying to get out, kind of just like on Monte Cristo. You funnel down funnel down that ramp. If either player goes for a huge concave, that feels like something like Mass Goon would be a good play on here, but of course, Goon Reaver always amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody's gonna go Citadel this time.
Give me those 1 base Rebos, dude. I want it. Bonnet is he's so good at playing that strategy. The only reason he's only won BSL that last year is because he refuses to use his powers for evil by doing that build every single game. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I just love to see it. But either way, you're right. It's probably what we're going to see, the standard Goon Reaver. It's not as ironclad as something like, Mutiling and ZVZ, but it's still the most common comp. Now, you do have those bad hombres out there who go DT and really mess everything up. But I don't know if we're going to see that from either one of these players.
Yeah, so far, everything looks normal. We're waiting to see, is anybody going to go for a Nexus follow-up? There is gas for DeWalt, gas for Bonnet. So everything is traditional PvP. Now, back to the Oya, or I think it was Oya and models. We talked about how aggressive Oya is, and we called out the 3-gate. I don't think we're going to see a 3-gate from either player here, more than likely. Probably 1-gate Robo or 2-gate Robo expand, just go into the mid-game. But it's possible that somebody will get super aggro with a 3-gate. It is very powerful. You need to really manage your probe count.
And even then, your cross spawns, and I mean, with 3 gate, you want to use that macro advantage, but the defender's advantage is almost kind of the same.
So we do have first Zealot coming out for DeWalt. Meanwhile, Bonneth is the one surprisingly skipping the Zealot, since we know how deadly his Zealots usually are. It's a bit of surprise, but because it is a 4-player map and because DeWalt is actually scouting extremely late, he's not going to find him for a while. The Zealot really shouldn't do that much. It is more just the safety Zealot. Probe comes in for Bonneth, sees nothing abnormal.
Now, keep an eye on the mineral counts here, because what you can do in cross positions is just like go Nexus off of like 1 gate, which is still kind of iffy, but you realize, wait a second, you know, this is not going to be a super aggro game. Neither player is going for something insanely cheesy. It's still super risky to ever build a Nexus in PvP, but I want to see a little bit of a longer game. Range coming up, it's spinning in front of the probe, so anytime you show a spinning cybernetics core, that is supposed to indicate to your opponent that it's a normal game. Sometimes you can fake them out, like in that models game.
Yeah, and I don't know how DeWalt did it, but he just knew from the scout timing from Bonneth that he didn't come from a corner. We looked at the route that DeWalt took. He did a cross scout on La Mancha. So he actually got in and saw a little bit, saw that there was no Zealot, saw that a Goon came out. So he knows that this was just a 1-gate skip Zealot straight into Goon. Now, what is DeWalt going to follow up with? We don't see tech.
Well, he's got 2 gateways, and that was kind of the big information that scout gave him, right?
Yeah, 2-gate for Bonneth.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Robo follow-up for DeWalt. So his unit comp is going to be stronger in the next couple minutes. But for right now, it's going to be 1 more Goon for Bonneth. Looks like DeWalt actually caught a Goon from Bonneth, but it gets away. Does a little bit of health damage, but nothing major. The Robo placement is great for DeWalt. Always at the front, pops out the Reaver right next to where you want it to be, so it gives you a little bit faster defender's advantage. And more than likely, this is going to be for a Reaver as opposed to an Observer. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, anytime you go Reaver before Observer, you know, you're just really hoping. And I think it's pretty reasonable to not expect DTs in this game, so that would make a lot more sense.
So Robo is almost done for Bonneth. Robo is done for DeWalt. I'm expecting to see instant support bay.
And there, no, it's OBS. How dare you?
No, it is an Observer, which is... Ooh, we're gonna fight on high ground. 4 Goons versus 3 Goons in 1 Zealot. That's a winning fight for DeWalt.
Yeah, DeWalt can actually take this. The Zealot creates so much pressure. Now it's about how you target. So the Zealot, like you said, is actually dealing those extra shots, that extra damage. Who's gonna come out on top? Look at the control here from Bonneth. He's actually maybe gonna win this. He goes back down high ground, but in the end, it's a 3-for-3 trade with unequal. Wait.
No. DeWalt won that fight. He killed more Goons. He lost less. He tried to body block the Goon as it was escaping, not able to catch it, but it was a smart move from DeWalt. There is the support bay follow-up. It's actually Bonneth with the faster shuttle and faster Reaver. DeWalt ended up going for Observer.
And this is why this is so polarizing. So you go for the Observer because it's the safe play, right? You're not going to die to DTs. You're not going to be surprised by anything because you've got better information. But that means the Reaver is way slower, and Bonneth with a faster Reaver is scary.
But now that Bonneth lost more Goons when he's going 2-gate, he's feeling the pressure to build more units to defend. Meanwhile, DeWalt won that fight with 1 gate, so he's saving money on the gate. He's not feeling the pressure to match the units because he already has a unit lead. So he ends up taking a Nexus for himself. He's got his tech up faster, so he can get out a Reaver in case there's an incoming attack from Bonneth. So DeWalt has everything going for him. All he has to do is make sure there's not some terrible engagement like we saw on Monte Cristo where his Goon just kept getting popped left and right. As long as that happens, in the next 5 minutes, he's going to have huge econ. Now he sees that there's no Nexus. So we need to have more gates come in, another Reaver come in, and he needs to get Observers into position to check if shuttles are coming.
He sees the shuttle coming. That's huge. You know the exact timing that this attack is going to come in. So no more probes, DeWalt. It's time to hold on here. Shield battery coming in. He's hunkering down. What's his Reaver timing at? It looks like it's about halfway done, but Reaver with shuttle is so much better than Reaver without shuttle.
Yeah, he already has 1 Reaver out. He's going to have a 2nd Reaver out soon. And with the Reaver right next to the battery, as long as there are just hits from goons or just hits from the Reavers going onto that Reaver, he can heal it up. So here we go though. Is it gonna hit right before the second Reaver?
The Reaver is in front. He's gonna try to siege him here, kind of. Oh, can he get in range? Where's that Scarab? Okay, it goes off and it actually gets a huge detonation on like 3 Dragoons. The Reavers are not firing for DeWalt just yet. He wants to continue pulling back, but he's still taking hits.
Yeah, he takes a hit there. Shuttle is trying. Oh, it almost gets caught by 1 goon.
Oh my god, that Scarab is gonna... Okay, it does get 1 nice kill there. We're just trading pot shots on Dragoons here. It's double Reaver versus single, but the ability to pick the Reaver up in the shuttle is just... I mean, it does the Scarab. Oh, he loses the shuttle. So now it's 2 Reavers versus 1. But diving deep is Bonneth.
Oh,
He's gonna get on top of DeWalt's Reavers. Gonna get another shot off. It doesn't matter. And in the end, it's actually a lot more even. The shield battery's still there, but it's dead on energy. Does it have energy? It's very low. There is another Reaver just now popping out, so it looks like DeWalt's gonna hold.
He's gonna hold, but just barely. There was not any reinforcements for Bonneth, but defender's advantage for DeWalt end up saving him. He didn't even have a shuttle coming out. He just built a 3rd Reaver. Bonneth is gonna try and escape with this 1 Reaver. I actually think he can fight this. He kills another goon. He's still got a goon supporting it. That goon's gonna fall probably.
Wait, what? Yeah, this is not a good fight for DeWalt. Like, Reavers are pretty strong, bro.
Get it. He's not getting it.
I think he is.
Oh
my god! Bonneth, stop it! Who is this masked man? Wanted, Bonneth, for crimes against Protoss humanity. What a god.
Now, look at the probe count for DeWalt. It's 27. Meanwhile, Bonneth has 35 probes, and he doesn't have a Nexus as fast as DeWalt. So now, actually, Bonneth is the one with killer econ. He's got equal amount of Reavers. Sure, that 1 Reaver is super low, but everything's going well for him. He's even up supply now.
I don't ever want to see Bonneth build a shuttle ever again. He doesn't need him. Just crawl the Reaver across there. It's obviously stronger. What a way to play. He's also got obs out here. He's going to see exactly what the positioning is for DeWalt's army. Well, he doesn't want to lose it, so he's pulling back. But yeah, all of a sudden, the shoe is on the other foot. Bonneth's in a great position. And how do you play from here? You just keep pumping out Reavers. Also, where's a shuttle for DeWalt? It seems like he's totally content to play defensively this game.
He finally has a shuttle. He doesn't have speed with it. We do have speed coming in for Bonneth. So once this attack gets thwarted on Bonneth's side of the map, he could potentially just go for a counterattack instantly. Now, we cannot engage on the high ground.
Yeah, well, especially not with these Reavers being rallied in.
Oh my god.
I mean, one of them is a 1 HP. Ooh, some really good Reaver shots to start this fight off. He does pick it up. Nice pickups there by DeWalt.
Yeah, really nice, and he picks off a couple goons for free, so that's great for him. I do think 1 Scarab landed for Bonneth. He needs to go use that shield battery. But overall, that was a good trade for him, catching up a little bit there. He's still down 5 workers, but now he has an army lead. Speed is kicking in with that shuttle, so he's going to be able to harass the natural and get out. Goons are set up there, though.
Yeah, ooh, instant pullback. Good reaction there, and there is an observer to scout the shuttle out leaving. I think he did actually use that shield battery energy. Here comes Bonneth around from the other side. Just going to siege it once again from the front. This time it's triple Reaver for DeWalt. Let's see if he can pick it up. It actually just tanks the shot on the Reaver. I think he thought it was going to go to the other one. Let's see if we get the shot off. Beautiful pickup there by Bonneth. He's going to have to target the Dragoons. He does get 1 nice shot off, but the shots continue to land here from Bonneth, who's crawling forward with these double Reavers. Whoa, nice pickup. DeWalt. Oh, I love this micro. This is such a battle of wills. DeWalt really on point with his Reaver micro. His control has been super Gosu. That's why Zero and Kralsha both say that our players are super Gosu, because they know how good these guys are.
DeWalt has 4 Reavers. He's got another one coming out. He doesn't have a second shuttle, but we do have Bonneth is starting to go into Citadel. It is done. He's starting to get speed. There's no Temple Archive just yet. Harassment into the natural gets denied for now. Still no speed on that shuttle, so he's going to have to be very careful. We see that Bonneth is sending some goons to the bottom side of the map to intercept it.
Was he actually coming in with that shuttle? No, he wasn't. He was leaving. I mean, those Reavers are super low, so it's kind of worrying, because now I think they can only take maybe 1 shot from the Reaver. I don't know how that works. Depends on the shields, but it's a Citadel coming up, so going to be going into, I guess, Zealot legs.
Yeah, Zealot legs, and we do have double upgrades coming in for DeWalt. Meanwhile, just +1 weapon for Bonneth. we do have, I think, an equal gateway count. It's like 6 for both players. The supplies are incredibly close. It's like 100 to 100. Worker count still in favor of Bonif just a little bit, but not that much. We saw worker lead for DeWalt last game, and that backfired. Double shuttle coming in for DeWalt. Now he has 4 Reavers.
Yeah.
I think there's only 2 for Bonif. Still no speed yet, but it's about to kick in.
Yeah, double shuttle, double Reaver is scary. Guys like Mini would play this, and sometimes I remember Mini went triple shuttle, 6 Reavers, and he couldn't micro and lost them all. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's too much. We've gone too far. But for Bonnet, this is super powerful because on La Mancha, you can maneuver around really quickly with these shuttles and take control of the high ground on these ridges. And that can allow you such insane maneuverability and strength of positioning. It can really prevent your opponent from doing anything. But look at Bonnet. He's completely circumvented these giant ridges, and he does have speed. Ooh. He's got that shuttle moving forward. He can't see the high ground, and that means we're going to have a lot of great entry shots from these Reavers. There's so many of them here. Let's see how good the connections are. Beautiful shots in the back from Bonnet. He's getting so many of those Reaver shots onto the Dragoons in the front. The shuttle does control backwards, but it's still 3 Reavers here.
Firing.
They're not firing. They're actually on the low ground part. They weren't on the high ground, so they couldn't see for some of that, or at least they weren't in range. But now, actually, Bonnet is going to try to run back, but there's still a cannon there. His shuttle is in the red. His Reaver's in the red. They can't drop for the economic damage.
I actually thought that was going to be suicide for Bonnet because DeWalt was doing a good job with his observer to shadow the army of Bonnet. He knew exactly where it was, and Bonnet was running up with no vision. But the Reavers were not firing for DeWalt. Meanwhile, Bonnet, despite only having 2 Reavers versus 4, was having huge connections onto the goon line. And now, DeWalt, you can see he realizes he's behind. Now he puts down more gateways. His 1-1 timing is about to kick in. But he doesn't have a Citadel, I don't think.
No, he doesn't.
So, like, Zealots really aren't that great. They're not going to be able to get into the goons very easily. He just now has started speed. And Bonnet has his 3rd base coming up.
Yeah, and this 3rd base is kind of, you know, the American flag on the moon, right? You're staking your claim on this game, saying, look, come at me, bro. If you don't either throw down a Nexus of your own, and he is, this is kind of like the early parts of the game all over again. It's like, okay, well, if he's going to put down a Nexus, I have to put down a Nexus. And then we kind of do this all over again. But each time, it just gets better and better. And, I mean, if you look at the worker count, basically even, the eco is going to be super similar. But the big difference is the army is just so much bigger for Bonnet.
Yeah, Bonnet up about 20 supply. Econ is very similar. DeWalt is matching the 3rd Nexus. One thing that DeWalt has is he still has, I think, 3 Reavers versus 1. Actually 4 Reavers, but Bonnet has the Templar tech. We see 4 Templars coming out. He's going to have Storm pretty soon. Meanwhile, I don't think there is a Templar archive for DeWalt, but he's getting 2-2.
No, DeWalt's there with the red High Templar.
Oh, he does have Templar.
Yeah.
He has Archons already morphing. It's Bonnet, I guess, going for Storm. Meanwhile, DeWalt is the one going for Archons. Nexus is up for Bonnet, so he's going to transfer. But again, DeWalt does have a massive upgrade lead once these kick in. Archon's going to do very well versus Mass Zealot that Bonnet has.
Yeah, and both players know about each other's bases with their observer positioning, so it's not a mystery. They both know it's 3 base versus 3, but let's see what happens. There is 1 cannon here. That shuttle's back to being pretty healthy. See if it can drop the Reaver, get in there with a good shot. Nice pull by Bonnet. He's not going to lose anything here. Right as I say that, he loses the probe, and another one, and another one. Just kidding. It hit.
Well, Bonnet is across the map, so he can't even save this base. Bonnet is going for it. Supplies are still ahead of for Bonnet here, and with 8 goons or so at the top, I'm worried that DeWalt's going to forget about this army at the top. Look how much more Bonnet just straight up has.
Now, it is a nice concave from DeWalt. See how good these Reaver shots are. Insane for a Bonnet on the top, but look at DeWalt. He's getting more and more shots off. You've got more Reavers here. The Archons are doing a great job tanking the Speed Zealots in the front. More Dragoons rallying in. Reaver versus Reaver. The shuttles are AFK. DeWalt failing on the Reaver micro, loses everything, and is going to have to run back to his natural expansion. He does have a shuttle on the other side, but he's running it into cannons. It might just die down there while he's getting his natural breach. He does have a shield battery. He's trying to control that shuttle, but the shuttle goes down, and as will everything else. He's going to breach the 3rd base here, but his natural is in shambles.
He's going to lose his nat. Luckily, he is still mining a lot at top middle. but he can't fight this army. The Reaver shuttle control is too good. He's funneling in one at a time. Goons versus Goon Reaver. Oh, the hits are huge.
These Bonnet, he just needs half as many Reavers, it seems like. Look at that shot. Picks up Micro's back. It's like he's playing like DDR, but with a keyboard. He's just hopping all over it. He's got the moves. Look at this. He just breaches it effortlessly, keeps everything alive, and that's it. DeWalt taps out, and Bonnet is going to come away with the win in game number 2.
And Bonnet just looks like you can't stop him.
What do you do? It
Like,
looks flawless.
DeWalt's got so many Reavers, but Bonnet is the one that kills them all. Meanwhile, Bonnet's Reavers just never die. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, I remember watching that fight with DeWalt having 3 Reavers and Bonnet's just got 1 in a shuttle, and he's just like zooming around. It's like instead of a shuttle, it's like an X-wing. He's just like so much more maneuverable. His Reaver shots are just better. They happen faster. How does it work? I don't know. It's just it's a thing of beauty to watch. The control in that game, actually from both players. DeWalt had some really sick fights there too. His shuttle Reaver control, just as good. So I don't know. It just doesn't get much better than that. Can the next 2 players beat both of these guys so we get a rematch, please? Is that too much to ask? Maybe.
I don't know if that's possible because Bonnet he just never loses a fight. The only fight that he loses was the high ground Goon Zealot versus Goon. That was it. Everything else, he clearly won by a lot, even with a smaller army. And then at the end, he had the bigger army, so it was just a steamroll. So Bonnet just looks like you can't kill him. And, you know, before the series started, I thought, okay, DeWalt and Bonnet, similar level, but that didn't look similar at all.
No, that did not look similar. I mean, look, it's clear that both of these guys are incredibly talented. But that's not it, because we've also got guys like Kogut in this group, who is also a semifinalist to BSL. This guy is so good. And Gosu Dark, kind of the wild card. What is he going to do? What's he going to pull out? Because he has to know that, I mean, this group is kind of stacked against him in a lot of ways. He's never made it far as any of these other players. So there's a lot on the line. And that's the map that's coming up next. I don't know what necessarily to expect from this because you got Kogut, and we like to characterize. Tell Nyokin to stand closer to the mic. There we go. All right, I'm going to shove this mic in in Nyokin's face. We're just going to talk like this for the rest of this. No, I'm just kidding. This is Gosu Dark versus Kogut. Now, Kogut we characterize as being the Wraith God. I want somebody to redub that Eminem song with Wraith God instead. Because that's Kogut. He's so good at it, but you don't really see Wraiths in TVP that much.
No, you only see Wraiths when somebody's screwing around with like blind and Wraiths or carriers. Which, you know, if this was Kogut versus Bonnet, then we might see it. But I don't think I've ever played a game versus Gosu Dark where it's gotten to carriers. So I do not expect to see any type of carrier play. And Gosu Dark, if we look at his record, you know, he's okay versus Terran. Looks like his best matchup so far is versus Protoss. So if he can make it past Kogut, you know, maybe we can make a miracle happen versus DeWalt or Bonnet. But
maybe that's just the PvP matchup speaking.
Yeah.
But you can see that Kogut has got insane win rate versus Protoss. I don't want to say insane because it's 60%, but that's still pretty good. Doesn't have a high sample size because he mostly just plays these epic TVTs. But it's still going to be extremely exciting to watch. Both of these guys have super high MMR, and I'm really excited to see what Kogut has to bring here, just because he is such a good player. For Gosu Dark, advancing to the round of 8 would be his highest placement in BSL ever. So certainly a lot on the line. And our first map is back to being Monte Cristo. So I don't think I've never seen these guys play on this map. So brand new.
No, and I just want to get into it and see what Gosu Dark's got in store, because we saw 12 Nexus PvP. You would think, well, maybe Gosu Dark will 12 Nexus on here versus Terran. But we've seen Proxygate versus Terran twice.
Yeah.
There's so many places to Proxygate.
Where do you check? This is like Destination. Where's the Proxygates? You don't know.
Is it
it's
in my main?
Yeah, that too. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get into it. Game number 1 of our second best of 3, the round of 16 Group D on Monte Cristo between Kogut and Gosu Dark. Okay, all right, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner of the map, Monte Cristo. In the blue, playing Protoss. This is Gosu Dark.
In the bottom right, in the red, we have our Polish Terran. It is Kogut. So we haven't seen Koget in a long time, right? He didn't play BSL, I think, for a couple seasons. He got like second versus Dandy. Then I don't think he played a couple seasons. Is that correct?
Yeah, he took some time off.
I feel like he was missing. So we'll see. Yeah, so 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago was the last time he played. He's been doing very well so far in BSL, but he went up versus Zerg really and killed people with straight up race. So we'll see what he's got in store for us in this Protoss group. He has an advantage here where he only has to practice TVP, whereas the other 2 or other 3 people have to practice PvP and PvT. So he should have gotten in a lot of good practice here. We do see that Ghosted Dark, no 12 Nexus, no forward pylon anywhere, no shenanigans just yet. But I know him. There will be some type of shenanigans.
Well, I mean, look, that's the thing about players like Ghosted Dark. They know the cheese timings for every time. So it's all about just when they want to pull the trigger on that. So you never know what you're going to get. So scouting, obviously, very, very important. It's a 2-player map, so at least you know where your opponent is. Let's see. I want to see if Koget scouts his main just to see if. I mean, this is not the biggest main, so it's not like there's a ton of dark spots. So if you were to hide it here, you'd have to be really good at that. So that's probably not what we're going to see. There's so many other options. What's this probe up to?
Yeah, he actually did scout his main. He scouted to the side to make sure it's not there. He definitely knows that this map has a lot of potential for proxies. And this is, I think, the first time we've seen a Terran not wall at the entrance. It's also the first time we have seen a 12 gas. So there's no gasless expand this time. Probe comes in here. Now, yesterday we saw a Probe get a kill versus Casper, I think. And that was ruthless because his gas got denied for actual eternity. Oya just did so much damage with his goons as a follow-up. Now, Kogat sending out his SCV to get a scout off, which is so crucial versus Ghosted Dark. Now, I'm looking at the mini-map. I don't see a hidden probe anywhere, no proxy pylon or anything. So far, so good. No,
he saw you skipping Marine too, so that was, or at least not building it immediately. I don't know how super standard that is, but let's see if we got another probe kill coming in. 35, 30. Here we go. 25, 20, 15, 10.
He's gonna get away for now. And actually, Ghosted Dark did skip range. He went straight into Goon. There is no range just yet. Oh, actually, it is coming in just now, but he did prioritize the Goon faster over the faster range. Now, Koget sees that there's an upgrade going, so everything looks normal. This is, I don't want to say it's unusual, but you got to be a little scared here because it's, what's the follow-up going to be? Because Ghosted Dark's Goon is going to come out and it's going to push the SCV away. Then you're in the dark versus someone that you know is hyper aggro. We've got a bunker at the front, so this probe is going to get pushed back for now. Goon shouldn't deal any damage.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you build up a critical mass and you go for it, but that's not likely. So, yeah, this is a great defensive position. I agree it was a little bit strange to not see a wall here because I think we see that basically all the time, but I mean, a bunker is almost just as good.
So we've got second Goon coming out for Ghosted Dark. We do have an SCV at the bottom side of the map. I thought it might be setting up for potential proxy factory or proxy starport. We see that more often. Is this going to be a run by maybe? Ooh, he's trying to get that probe in. Focuses down the probe though. So that's a great micro trick from Koget there. Meanwhile, back in Ghosted Dark space, I'm still looking to see if we have a Nexus. And I don't see it. I see a third. Okay, there's the Nexus. So third Goon, then Nexus. So, you know, I talk about all the time, if there's no Nexus at 420, something's up. Koget comes in, sees that there's a Nexus at 415, so we're good.
Yeah.
We know there's no DT, there's no Robo. He's got enough Goons where he couldn't have done anything. It's very sneaky. He does sneak out a Vulture here, but Ghosted Dark sees it. Starport follow-up. So there's actually going to be some drop play.
Yeah, so this is really, I mean, look, it's not a mystery. You're going to see Koget build a starport, okay? But it's all about what that starport is for. If at any point he builds a Wraith here, I mean, so you can build one Wraith to stop shuttle play, but it's not shuttles, or at least not yet. So probably we're going to see drops, and that's exciting because, you know, Koget's just really good at things that fly. So I want to see what he can get done with these drops, because if he hits, you know, a good Vulture drop, I mean, we've seen how devastating that can be.
Yeah, I actually like this opening from Koget a lot because the bunker with the high ground, the Goons cannot just, you know, sit from a distance and shell it. So you don't need a tank to defend. You can just literally defend it with a bunker. Then you go straight Vulture. Vultures are great versus a lot of Ghost of Dark's openings, such as DT, Speed Zealot. So this is fantastic. Now we've got drops coming in. So if Ghost of Dark did skip going Robo somehow, we get a drop into the main with no detection. We see that he is playing pretty standard here. He's got 3-gate coming in. He's got Forge coming up. This is actually going to be super fast +1 for Ghost of Dark. So this is actually a really good opener for him. He's not going to take any damage to these Vultures, I don't think.
I mean, it's certainly not if they just try to run in, but the drop is coming. So can't forget. Why don't Terrans have a dropship speed upgrade, Nyokin?
Yeah,
Shuttles
shuttles
get speed?
Why do not?
Overlords get speed.
Yes, Blizzard, why don't? I think they actually nerfed dropship speed, didn't they, a long time ago?
Yeah, in one of the Starcraft 1 patches.
Yes, very, very long time. Now, one thing I'm noticing from Ghost of Dark is I don't think he built an observatory or a robotics, really. We have double cannon coming up, which is so surprising, but it's actually just going to instantly shut down Koget's build. Dropship going around the side of the map is going to skirt around the defense of Ghost of Dark. But Ghost of Dark's already ready for this. This is very unusual play. He's playing hyper defensive here, making sure nothing gets him. I guess he knows he's up versus Koget, who likes to make stuff happen with Race, with some type of over or with some type of micro type play, fantasy style-esque. And Ghost of Dark's going to be the one that actually just takes a third base with good upgrades. I think he's actually not upgrading. He literally just has the Forge to defend the drop.
What a god. Okay, well, I mean, he sneaks in, but he's not that sneaky. He gets scouted immediately. 4 Vultures out and in the main, but the Dragoons are all right there. Some mines going out to see if we pick these mines off. One of them does land, and the Vultures are in the mineral lines. But uh-oh, not only is there a pylon to block, there's a cannon in there. Shut down.
Well, one thing that I'm noticing right now is that even though Koget didn't kill that many probes, look how few probes Ghost of Dark actually has. He has 30. Koget's up by 12 workers. So Ghost of Dark really cut into his econ to get out more goons. Well, what's he gonna do with this? He's got to do something with it. Koget's gonna start running away with upgrades. He didn't. Oh no. Oh, takes a big mine hit there. He skipped the robotics to get out a lot of goons. But how's he actually gonna attack into this? He has no vision. He's so lucky that there's no secondary mines here. We would have been running into death, really.
Well, watch him try to run past this bunker. There's like infinity mines there and tanks, so probably not going to try that. This is such a strange game because you almost never see Protoss players get those cannons because it does hurt your economy like that. You just aren't supposed to be able to afford that right there. And I'm also kind of curious about these Dragoons. Obviously, you want to stop a push from coming out, but I mean, is that really what Koget's going for? It doesn't look like it.
Well, he does have a third Nexus. He's going to have good econ pretty soon, but his probe count is still lacking. It's at like 35. He only has 3-gate. He has no tech at all. He just has Observer. He's got a Citadel coming in. Koget scans it, sees that it's about to complete at 8:45. That's the dream scenario for Terran, really. The Arbiters are so late. Koget can really do pretty much what he wants. It's going to be hard for him to take a third base because Ghost of Dark sitting outside of his base so heavily. But other than that, everything is fine for Koget. He's got Science Facility up. This one Vulture is going to avoid the cannon, get a couple probe kills right here. So annoying.
Yeah, it's super annoying. I mean, oh, look at that position. Just hold positioning right outside the cannon, shutting down like 3 mineral patches. Dragoons are going to have to come, and it already paid for itself. Just blocking the other Nexus location. This is really solid play from Koget. His macro is super on point. He's still up like 20 workers. What's that?
Yeah, so we might actually see 7 factories. There's a couple more factories right there, or I guess 6 factories. He's really upgrading hard on 2-1. You know, Flash for a while was doing fast 2-1 with 7 fact. So that might be what we're seeing, just all in 2 base. But Ghost of Dark's being very obnoxious with these goons. Anytime we see movement, actually Vultures managed to get out, but there's still a ton of goons waiting on the other side of the map.
Yeah, but this is going to make it much more difficult to move through the map as you lay just these random mines. Oh, nice! Gets the drag into the Dragoon, and now he's in the mineral line. Targeting down probes right and left, getting a ton of probe kills here. And this just magnifies, he's double his opponent's workers right now. Yeah. Almost.
Yeah, so Koget, he's got enough SCVs. We can chill on the SCVs now. Now we just need actual units. Or if he's not going to chill on the SCVs, we need to get a command center up. God, these mines, another set of goons going down. Dark's really not doing a very good job with his observer and goon control. And because there's a lack of tech from him, once 2-1 hits for Koget, how do we actually stop this army? Like, he has a Citadel. There's no Archive. There's no Stargate. There's nothing that actually can fight this army. I saw a vessel being made for Koget. Factor in D-Matrix. Like, does Protoss actually get any damage done once D-Matrix comes in?
I mean, how are you going to break that? Like, there's no real tech from Ghost Dark. He's Gateway Man.
He is pure Gateway Man, and he's just now starting his +1 weapon, despite having the Forge for so long. Koget is content with doing drops over and over and over.
Ooh, watch him sneak by here. Oh, look at that. Oh, a beautiful thing. He sneaks right by the Observer. He might actually kill it with this Goliath. One shot.
He does not get it with the Goliath, but the Vulture drop went unseen into the main in the next few seconds.
Oh, actually, he's moving up with his Dragoons. He doesn't see it yet, but that's still super sick.
Yeah, but there's nothing there. Ghost Dark is just trying to deny a third base from Koget. That's his whole plan. The problem is he can't fight Koget's army. It's just way too weak.
How many probes is Ghost Dark gonna have after this? 12?
He's actually got a decent amount. He's at 45 now, but Vulture's coming in. Oh man, and these elves are just gonna eat huge mine hits.
Well, if he lays the mines, so there we go. He's going to target maybe 1 or 2 of them down. The mine drag actually does a little bit of damage, but getting in for even more probe kills. Oh, this is hard to watch.
Well, Koget is up a lot of supply, but almost all of the supply he's up is in workers. So he needs to max out, move his entire army in sync. He's got 2-1 now. He's got Vessel with D-Matrix. If Ghost Dark tries to engage, even though Koget's funneled up on a ramp, I just don't see anything working.
Happening.
No, especially if a D-Matrix goes down.
I mean, even with that third base, you would kind of expect there to be a little bit more. Oh yeah, everything's fine now, guys. Yeah, I mean, the macro from Ghosty Dark's kind of slipping. So for Koget, I mean, look at the size of this army. Yeah, he's got 2-1.
It's huge. It's 170 to 120. Like, Protoss is just dead. Like, unless he has a shuttle bomb on top of mines or something, which he doesn't, there we go. That's what he needs. But he has to have literally the best drag in history here, because 2-1, so deadly. Protoss is at 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, there's the shuttle bombs, okay? So here we go. Maybe breaking up the ramp is going to be Koget's untimely demise. He doesn't have to do it. He can actually have so much splash damage from those tanks, he can go straight through the temples.
Yeah, it is buying time for Ghost Dark to get up Storm. It's about halfway done, but it just doesn't matter. 2-1 is ridiculous. 3-2 is even started. Arbiter is coming up for Ghost Dark, but it's super late. Normally, you're having already an Arbiter near max energy at 13.5 minutes. So Ghost Dark right now, just avoid the army. Let Koget siege slowly over and over and over, take as much time as he needs. And actually, because Koget has so many SCVs, he needs to do something with this army. Otherwise, the main and natural are going to mine out quickly. He's also going to be max pretty soon.
He's picked off like 3 or 4 observers. I don't think there's any obs with this army.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't think Ghost Dark's ever going to attack into this. He's going to wait for his Arbiter upgrade or Arbiters to come in. So it doesn't really actually matter that much. But he needs to save his army at least on the right side of the map.
Watch him it's all dead. His army
it's all dead.
Yeah, he's just going to pop it. Look how far those tanks were able to siege forward.
God.
You can't move through that. What are you doing?
Oh, he has his army miskeyed. He tried to actually try and click upright. Oh man, disaster. Losing everything left and right for Ghost Dark. Supplies are plummeting again. Now it's max versus 140. Now it's going to be go time for Koget. He just picked off half of the army. There's nothing that can actually stop this.
Yeah, Koget, he's doing it. No way that you can fight this army with just Dragoons or even Dragoons and a handful of Zealots. I mean, he just has nothing. He's going to try to go in here, but this is a last-ditch effort. Koget's got a deep tank line, vultures, mines, everything in front. I mean, a decent storm there in the back, but that's it.
Yeah, a pretty good storm, but that's the only AoE for him. Now Koget is taking his third base. 3-2 is about a minute away for Koget. Meanwhile, the tank count, we lost like, what, 1 or 2 there?
Yeah,
There's nothing.
It's only +1 for Ghost of Dark's units. He's got to come up with a decent storm here. He does land a good one on the tank from the back, but I mean, look, we've got another D-Matrix coming out. That tank is going to tank for a very long time. The Arc of Dragoons is good, but it's just Dragoons, and they just melt the tanks so fast. That's it. Damn. Okay, well, Ghost of Dark, you tried. All that Vulture harass and just the ability to make infinity SCVs, Koget's good.
Yeah, the Vulture Harass did a lot of damage, and then Ghost of Dark is one of those players that cuts a lot. We saw it there. He was down 15 workers, because that's what he does. He tries to get an army advantage to try and punish you. You saw what his goal was, deny the third base forever. Koget didn't care, though, because we're just all in 7-fact with 2-1. So we're going to have other ideas for Ghost of Dark. I love Koget's opener with the mines. It counters all of the shenanigans from Ghost of Dark, unless it goes really weird with like a Reaver drop or something like that.
Yeah.
So this map felt like it was designed for Koget versus Ghost of Dark. So hopefully Ghost of Dark picks something a little better for him, like Whiteout seems like it would be good.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see what he can come up here, because this was not his map. This was, you could tell he didn't play it because his units like tried to go through the center temples.
Yeah, that miss hotkey really kind of hurt him. You can tell he was kind of confused trying to like run through minefields, then just losing one Dragoon here or there. He would always move out, and then there's a Vulture drop in his base, and it's like, well, what are you going to do, right? So definitely not Ghost of Dark's map. I'm still a believer. He's got some crazy strats out there, and even though Koget is super good, there's a chance. So can't count him out just yet. Our next map is going to be Clayfields, which is not actually a map that we've seen very much this season.
Yeah, we don't see it often, but a great map. I love the standardness of it, but it also has those high grounds right outside your natural, and you know that Ghost of Dark wants to keep you from leaving. So high ground for Goons seems like it could be a good choice. So we'll see. Can Ghost of Dark bring it back to 1-1, or is Koget just going to easy mode through Ghost of Dark and win 2-0?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get into game number 2. The map is Clayfields. It's Koget up 1-0 against Ghost of Dark. All right, here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner in the blue, playing Protoss from South America, it is Ghost of Dark.
And in the red, up 1-0, it is Koget. So Ghost of Dark's play with the 3-gate ob, I think was really good. Playing to his image of being over aggro, it was great. But the fact that we cut so many probes, couldn't get our econ rolling despite having 3 Nexus, and we had the Forge for the Vulture drop, like the counter was perfect, but then we ran into mines. We could never get the probe count actually going. Just everything was a disaster for him. So this time I'm hoping we don't cut as much. If we do cut, we got to go with our actual army. Like instead of building and sit there, we got to do something with it.
Well, that's the thing about 3 gateway obs is like you just don't have any tech. Even Zealot Legs was pretty late, so you would have had to just go for it because you just got out tech there in the end. Not a good look for game number 1. So game number 2, we might need a little bit better macro, but if you're gonna cut probes, go with it. And I think that's really, you gotta play to your strengths. Ghost of Dark is such a strong, aggressive, creative player. It keeps his opponents really on their toes. So Koget just played super defensive. He's like, I'm never gonna push out. I'll just do this drop play. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll just, hit that 2-1.
Oh, I thought that we had skip gateway and we're going for 12 Nexus, but it is just standard so far from Ghost of Dark. He does do a center scout, which is a bit unusual because I don't think Koget would ever proxy racks him. We do have 12 gas for Koget, everything standard so far. We're going to see how many Zealots, if any, Ghost of Dark will build. Is he going to do a canceled range strategy? It looks like Koget is actually not going to scout first, probably because he's not Protoss. Almost every single Protoss player scouts first. Also, Ghost of Dark is not getting a first scout off. So, versus Ghost of Dark, it's really scary to not scout him. He's going to need to come back in at like the 4:20 timing that I talk about, or 4 minutes is what Flash talks about. If there's no Nexus, then you have to build the eBay because it could be DT. So we'll have to wait and see if Koget is going to center scout here. Unluckily for Ghost of Dark, he's the first player, I think, to actually scout the Terran last.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually our players scout first in BSL, but this is the opposite of first.
Yeah, so now Ghost of Dark's going to have to make a decision on what he wants to go for, regardless of what Terran's actually doing. Is he going to get range? Is he going to skip it, go for, fast DT or something? The SCV got denied for a long time, so he could go for DT. Luckily for Koget in this scenario, he did do a cross scout, and he is actually going to get in here. I'm sure that the SCV will die, but at least he's going to come in, get a pylon count, see that range is upgrading, see that there is a normal goon timing. So this is great for him. He does come in. Ooh, he does not. He's going to leave because he knows the goon's about to pop.
Right.
So he doesn't risk it. But there still could have been some type of proxy or some type of hidden tech for Ghost of Dark.
Yeah, he didn't really see much there. I mean, he's going to play decently safely, get the bunker up. But if this is DTs, I mean, the Citadel's halfway done.
Wow. He is actually going for Citadel, but it's not the fastest Citadel you could have gone for.
Right.
So
There's Dragoon range still.
This is middle of the road. It doesn't even necessarily have to be DTs. We could see him put down 2 or 3 more gates and just bust a bunker. That's what he did. Oh, there's this one of them. That's what he did to me was I went gasless versus him. He saw that I bunker expanded and he's like, no, you don't have any actual units. So he just went like 8 speed zealots and popped it. Now, like I said, SCV scouting. Now, last game, Ghost of Dark got a 415 Nexus. So this doesn't necessarily mean anything. But as Flash says, you need to have instant eBay. There it is to make sure you don't die to DTs at the 4-minute mark. So this is a good reaction from Koget. We do actually have DT this game.
Yeah, so it is going to be like a slower DTs, not the fastest. He did still get Dragoon range, but I still love that reaction by Koget. It's maybe a little bit of an overreaction, but not by much. He's going to have the detection he needs when he needs it.
So goons have range. A lot of times when players are actually going for DT, they don't have range. So everything looks like it can't be DT. But knowing who he's playing against, he's going to build a turret here. It would be very, very greedy to skip the turret. Now, something that is very dangerous that Ghost of Dark could have gone for is if he had built like 6 goons with this delayed DT and just focused down the turret to get the DT in. That would have been very sneaky. We do have the turret coming in. This isn't going to do damage. So the question now is, what's Ghost of Dark's follow-up? For a while, we were seeing 29 Arbiter or 29 something, like 29 DT, I can't remember exactly, but like the super fastest Arbiter in history. We don't see a Stargate follow-up. Is that 2 more DTs?
Yeah.
So it's 4 DTs.
Oh, wait, really?
No, well, he's building 2 more.
Yeah, so he's building 2 more DTs, but there are 2 on the map. So it is going to be 4 DTs, and even though it doesn't look like this will do too much damage, it does get you map control. Your opponent's not going to run out on the map. He's going to scout and see it. Wait, what?
Okay,
Hello?
that gives it away. Right there, that single scout with the goon gives away that it's DT because there's no reason you're ever sent. Look, instant reaction from Koget. He's putting up a semi-wall because there's no reason you're ever poking with a goon at this point. They have siege, so it can only be DTs at this point.
Yeah, he sees the 2 goons out there. It's not like the SCV has a Ghostbusters detector and can see the DT. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's so smart.
No, this could backfire. He might get the goons, but now the DTs can jump on them.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right.
If he has 4 of them coming.
Yeah, 4 DTs. That's going to kill those tanks so fast.
Oh, my God. Koget misstepped.
Oh, my God. He's still out of vision range. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is going to be so sick. Oh, he's pulling back the tanks. Very, very well done. He's not going to keep them in that vulnerable location.
I wonder if he sees the DT. There's a blur. He can see it, I think.
Oh, my God. If he saw the blur...
He knows. There he goes.
There we go. We're running in past the turret. Can he get to the rampant dive? He's going to try to target down the tanks. He gets tank number 1. He gets tank number 2. He's trying to target it down. There are pairs in there, but it's not good enough. The turret is dead, and there's no scan. He's trying to desperately put up panic turrets, making walls with SCV. Goes to Dark with the Dark Templars. He's living up to the name. Now, if he can target down the turrets being built fast enough, then that'll be so epic, but it looks like this has been held.
So Koget actually holds there. Ghost of Dark just went for it with the 4 DT. Surprisingly, Koget skipped Academy. If he had gotten Academy, would have done absolutely no damage. Now behind this, what is Ghost of Dark doing? I see like a big building in the back at the bottom of his base. Is that a Stargate? It's okay, so fast Arbiters. This is great for Ghost of Dark. if we look at what Koget's doing, he doesn't have +1 weapon, so no killer upgrades coming in for him. So, it looks like he's just going for a 5-fact, 6-fact timing. 2-base Arbor flat out smashes this. So all he has to do is get up a decent army, wait for stasis, and then what can Koget really do? He doesn't have that many scans on 2-base, so he's in real trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he's just now, like, not even done with the academy yet, and he knows he's going to need maximum detection. The problem is, like, detection against DTs doesn't really even get you that much. Like, when you're fighting them, that's great, but if you ever encounter them and have to scan, they can just run away. So he's getting Science Facility too.
Science Facility coming in, so it's actually going to be like a 5-fact timing with Vessel. So actually, he's going to cover all his bases. If Ghost of Dark is going Arbiter, he's going to have the Vessel for detection. He doesn't necessarily exclusively have to rely on scans. I'm looking at the worker count again. Ghost of Dark still extremely, extremely low in workers. This is something that I always notice with him. Always cuts probes. And any probe losses for him is going to be super impactful. He does see that the 3rd Nexus is going up, but this is so late that Koget has to know that there's some type of 2-base tech going on. Vulture slips into the natural, gets 1 kill. That's it. But he knows now that this is either carriers or arbiters. Since we went DT, it's most likely arbiters.
I mean, it's a good look for Gosu Dark. At least it puts him in a good position, but you still have to actually do it. You miss the stasis, or it doesn't hit very many tanks, then it's still bad. So you got 1 shot. Let's see how good it's going to be. 3rd base just now finishing up, but he's got to save it.
Well, it looks like Koget wants to move out, but this is such a scary move out because he has like 5 tanks, and goons are so strong. Like, they're actually just crazy strong when there's such a low tank count. So Koget is going to try and make something happen. I guess he realizes that Ghost of Dark is cut a lot because the goon count really is non-existent. The Arbiter, I think, is out, though.
Where's our Observer? He doesn't... Okay, there it is. He will be able to clear the high ground, but actually not. The tanks get a perfect opportunity to siege up in basically the perfect location.
Oh, no.
He's actually moving a little bit too far forward, and now he's going to lose a tank at the front, but there are tanks sieged in the back. Can he break up the strength? He's going to try to mind drag on top of the tanks. Oh my god, a huge explosion! He drags onto everything, but there's still tanks sieged on the top. The Arbiter can shoot down at the tanks, but everything else is going to die.
Yeah, all of those goons just get blown up by a huge mine hit. Now Koget has high ground advantage on this overlooking high ground at the natural. Ghost of Dark, he has pure goon versus tank vulture mines with a Vessel here. 1 Arbiter, that's not going to save the day. 3rd Nexus is definitely going to fall.
Also, the Arbiter's right next to the Vessel. Like,
yeah, it can just get EMP.
The EMP is like, it's right there.
Yeah, so...
He's just waiting for it to build up almost enough energy.
3rd Nexus isn't even running.
Totally useless.
It's just a waste of 400 minerals at this point. Koget isn't even up that much supply. It's up 10, but 10 supply lead for Terran when there's only goons. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. And now he has a slow push with turrets.
Yeah, he is actually just going to inch his way forward. There's 0 zealots, and that means there's no way to use dragoons even. The stasis is only halfway done, Nyoken.
There's no hope of Ghost of Dark busting through. If he had Citadel with speed already done, maybe. But now that there's no speed, oh my god, he might lose his Arbiter.
Oh my god, if he loses that Arbiter, it's definitely... It's game over, man. It's game over. Okay, yeah, it's saving the Arbiter. Okay, there's still a chance, but with so many turrets, it's just going to die when it runs in if it doesn't get EMP'd by that Science Vessel that's inches away.
And Koget has just such a huge stranglehold on the game. Like, the pylons are actually hurting the goons because they can't get out, through the top.
Yeah.
They can only funnel in through that small choke. So Koget's on the brink of just taking out Ghost of Dark. He's EMP. Goodbye. Can't even land the stasis.
And then the Arbiter dies to the turret that's built. And that's it. GG. Ghost of Dark is gonna tap out. And damn. Okay, Koget, we get it. You're good. But more than anything, Ghost of Dark looked like he was a little off in game 1, and then game 2, like that 3rd Nexus. I saw somebody say in the chat that, like, if Ghost of Dark had just built like 6-7 gateways and powered really hard after that, trying to bust with DTs, I mean, he couldn't have been in a worse spot, that's for sure. So, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit of misplay from Ghost of Dark. Today's definitely not his day, and now I'm like actually super worried for him because we're just cutting way too much. We had like a good move with the DTs. Like actually chat said, you 2-base Arbiter with 6 or 7 gates, and Koget does that move. Actually, he just gets steamrolled. So Ghost of Dark, he's going to need to turn it around. Otherwise, he's going to be eliminated very quickly from DeWalt, because DeWalt is obviously a killer in PvP. But now we've got Boneth versus Koget coming up.
Oh,
so that's probably the dream
Craigasm,
matchup
the Polish classic. It's going to be so good. Can't wait for it. But you're going to have to. We're going to take a quick break while you guys check out patreon.com/bombastic and let us know what you think when you come back for our exciting winners match to find out which player is going to be the first to advance out of the round of 16 group of death into the round of 8. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back, everybody, to the BSL Season 9 Round of 16 Group of Death. It's Group D, Rapid with Nyoken. We're back for the winner's match to decide which player is going to advance on first to the round of 8. Nyoken, who's it going to be?
I think it's Bonnet. You know, it's
You
hard
think
to
so?
argue with that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, Koget looked pretty good, but I mean, Ghost Dark was just way off. So it's really hard to tell where Koget is. But Bonnet just looks fantastic, out microing the wall hardcore. And then, you know, he can macro like a king. So I'm very worried for, you know, anyone really.
Look, here's how I decide if it's a good Terran player, okay? Like, step number 1, can they make SCVs? Koget was real good at making SCVs, okay? So look, that's all Terran needs, man. You get the money in there, 2 bases, 3 bases, who cares? As long as you get those upgrades going, you've got a good economy, there's a chance. So never count Koget out. Obviously, these guys are both Polish. They play against each other 100 million times before. They played with each other 100 million times before, and I can't wait to see which one of these guys is going to get out of the group in first place. It's a TVP, so obviously a lot of very strong polarizing decisions or opinions about this map. And it starts off on the map Escalade, which is like a weird like gray fields. I don't know how to characterize this, but it also has that sort of up and down and up kind of feel when you go down through those pits on the side. So I'm still not sure exactly what I think about this map.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good Protoss map. So let's see if Bonnet can actually start off to a 1-0 lead. He's going up against Koget here. Koget needs to actually have a really good game here, because I think if he goes down 1-0, he's going to be in deep trouble. But if he can start off with a 1-0 lead, maybe he can take out Bonnet.
Well, let's see. Let's get into game number 1 of our winner's match. The map is Escalade. The players are Koget and Bonnet, and the winner advances on to the round of 8. Okay, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner, in the blue, playing Terran from Poland, it's Koget.
In the bottom left, in the red, we have our current BSL champion. It is Bonnet. So this map, you know, I've played it a few times on ladder. Holy moly, is this a hard map to do timings on, because there's so many up and down pathways. It's kind of similar to Heartbreak Ridge, where if you do a timing, you better be very confident that you can get up that high ground. And that's why I kind of like Protoss a lot on this map. They can use goons for the majority of the early stages of the game. And we know that Bonnet is somebody that likes to go for carriers or go for reavers. So as long as you can stall to get those units out, he's going to be in a fantastic position. We've got a forward gate coming in.
Yeah.
So we're going to really be testing Koget's micro. We know he's been on break for a long time. So Bonnet, he's saying, hey, man, I want to see if you can actually micro, because if you can't, this is going to be over in like 3 minutes.
No, this is the Bonnet effect, and he said this in his last interview that we did with him. We're like, wait a second, like, what's your game plan when you go into a game? And he's like, well, first I start off by just building zealots and seeing how that works out. And usually it's pretty good. These are Bonnet zealots. He's so good at microing them. It's like he micros in between the double like auto attack shots. How does he do it? Nobody knows. It's amazing. And it's very powerful. So he's not pylon scouting. He's gateway scouting after the forward gate. And this is going to be a lot to handle.
Yeah, and this is going to be a Nexus follow-up for Bonnet. He's skipping the assimilator for now. So it's going to probably be about 3 zealots Nexus for him. Meanwhile, Koget did not get his gas stolen, so that's actually great for him. This probe isn't going to get a kill. Yesterday and previous days, it's gotten kills, I think.
20 HP.
It's already at 20 health. Like, the probe just got here, didn't it?
Yeah, and the probe's full health, too, so it doesn't have anything to worry about. He's still dip, dodge, ducking, and diving around the base. Hasn't even lost shields yet. He's just taking a couple of hits. And this is still, the Devil Probe. It's in there. And it's going to have to survive until this Zealot gets here. And once that happens, these damaged SCVs are just not going to fight. And that's something you can kind of tell anytime a Protoss player's in your base and they're attacking your SCVs just a lot, it's coming.
Well, actually, Bonnet did not go for a Nexus follow-up. He is going straight into gas with a Cybernetics follow-up. And I like this much more than the straight Nexus, because as a Terran player, when you have this happen, you're overbuilding. a lot of Marines to make sure you don't die, makes you very vulnerable to an FD. So I would have been worried for him if he goes straight for a Nexus. Here comes that Zealot and Probe. The Probe is actually taking a bit of damage, so it is vulnerable to an attack from SCVs and Marines. Marines, ooh, a second one comes out. Really good controls so far. No damage has been taken.
Yeah, this is actually remarkably well controlled.
Look at that SCV control.
Yeah, now if you're Artosis, both of these Marines explode right now. But actually, with good control, Kogan actually, oh no, he body blocks one. So one goes down. He might actually be able to hit the other one. No, it's back in the crevice. So just running away again. Actually, just really great control on both sides. Second Zealot coming in right now. They're starting to pile up. And once the Zealot count reaches critical mass, like 3 or 4, stuff starts to fall apart.
Yeah, but he is dealing a lot of damage to that one Zealot. The SCV building the factory.
Delays the factory again.
It's okay, though. He's dealt with one of the Zealots. He's doing a really good job, actually. He lost 2 SCVs, though. But that's not a huge loss for him. Now, something I do see at the bottom side of the map is Koget still has an SCV there. Now, I think it's, oh no, the Zealot.
Oh my God. Look at this. Okay, the Zealot, like, it runs away. No, you can hit the Marine from the other side.
Yeah, he can, but he's dealing with that Zealot with the SCV, and he gets the SCV kill. He does manage to save the Marine. So overall, Koget has held, but he took a lot of damage. But if we look at the worker count, it is even.
Oh my God, he got that
another
SCV
one
in the mineral line. He's gonna get this Marine too. This is insane. How many Marines has Koget had to build? Like 6?
Yeah, he's built so many, and oh, I thought that actually was going to wall
if that was a
there.
wall, you have to cancel and lift.
Yeah, I think that would have been horrible for Koget if that was an actual full wall. Now, here comes that SCV. Now, one of the saving graces of this SCV coming in so late is that maybe Bonnet thinks that this SCV went and built something hidden. So he's going into one base robotics here because there could have been potential second factory or starport. SCV gets picked off. Now, like I said last game,
did scout the no nexus.
No nexus. So it's past 420, but you know, a lot has been going on. This is definitely unstandard, but still 445, no nexus. You know that there is tech up for Bonnet. Now, this could be DT, could be Robo. Robo is highly unlikely, but we do see it this time.
Look,
so it's gonna be one base
What?
One base observer.
Yeah,
Vulture gets in though.
Well, I mean, it's got 2 HP. We've seen probes kill vultures before, right? This is a Koget vulture. He does not have a lot of health, but it does have the ability to move and shoot.
Actually, that observatory being seen, I think, is a huge
but also way weird.
It's very weird. I think it's actually an anti-scout because he thinks that it's just 2-gate observer to play defensive. This is Reaver. There's a shuttle coming. It's out. There's the support bay. So actually, Bonnet, well, I mean, Koget's actually in an okay position. He's got tanks already coming. He's got siege. He's got second command center up. He just needs an eBay, but I don't think he's going to build it. Oh no, he's going into armory.
Does he think there's like a hidden base somewhere or something? This looks so weird. I mean, there's like you can't.
It looks like 2-gate ob because Bonnet is worried about some type of timing, but he's not. He's going Reaver. So goons poke in onto the bunker. He's not going to get any damage done. Oh no, actually got to be very careful with those goons. One takes a lot of damage so far. And Koget is in a really good position. Now, if this is speed on the support bay, this could get ugly really quickly. There is no speed just yet. Zealot is coming with the Reaver also, so it's going to be shuttle into the main. Second factory just started. Armory is done though. But if he can get second factory up, get even just 1 or 2 Goliaths, that will help buffer some of the damage. I actually like Koget's position quite a lot.
Yeah, finally Nexus going down, so that is way late. And actually, he might even think about like double expanding depending on how this works out, because you do need to keep your base count up against Terran. You can't let them stay either bases ahead of you like Koget is now, or even. So Reaver's out, Reaver's in, and the shuttle headed across the map. Like you said, there is no shuttle speed, so it's not like it's going to get super crazy. Man, all I wanted for Christmas is one base Reaver play, but no, we have to build extra Nexuses. Don't ask me why. But here we go. We're doing it. 4 Dragoons, 1 shuttle, 2 Zealots, 1 Reaver is the comp for Bonnet, and he's heading out. Now let's see. There's no like proxy building scouting for this coming, so this is going to show up a little bit surprisingly.
Looks like Bonnet might try and bust the bunker, but I think if he does that, that's going to be a complete fail. Oh, is he just going to jump on the tanks? They're
Oh
exposed.
my god, they're right next to each other too. You can just drop the Reaver and the Zealots right on the tank. That's exactly what he does. He's gonna get one Scarab shot off. It hits one tank, but it's still alive. Second tank gets hit as well. The bunker is being repaired. These Reaver Scarabs
they're
are
not
so
repaired.
devastated. He's gonna hit the SCVs on the bunker. The bunker's actually about to die. He's gonna fire off another shot. The Reaver Scarab glitches, but it doesn't kill the tank. And now we're gonna start to see those explosions. The SCVs can't repair the bunker anymore. A huge hit kills off 3 more. All the SCVs are dead. He's gonna be able to bust the bunker if these tanks can't get back in position.
Yeah, tanks just barely out of position. Bunker's gonna fall. Oh no, it's not. Actually, he holds it,
Excuse me?
but he lost so many SCVs there. Actually, it's even in workers, 31-31. So Kogut actually holds. He's not in as bad a position as he thought. And this depot, watch this. The depot at the CC should block this Scarab shot. Oh, okay, maybe it doesn't, but SCV pull instantly. Nicely done. But now there's no
Wow.
Goliath again.
Double duds on the Scarab. That second one actually doesn't kill him either. He's going to have to try to micro these. He picked it up. He drops it off. He's going to try to kill the tank. He drops it off again.
Oh,
He's going to get out of range. The tank goes down. The Reaver Scarab goes out. He loses the Reaver in the shuttle. Chiron Booster's OP. But in the end, still massive damage done by Bonnet.
Yeah, but there is still a worker lead for Kogut. He's up slightly. Behind this, Bonnet has taken a third Nexus, but it got scouted by Kogut. So he knows what's happening here. He's actually going into Starport. I'm kind of surprised that he's not going to go for a timing. He knew that Bonnet skipped his Nat for so long and now is trying to double expand off of this. But instead, he's just going to go for a 2-1. He's going to try and camp it out. He does have scan to evaluate what the status is of Protoss for now. Overall, even though he took so many SCV losses, this was a good hold from him. He did lose quite a few tanks, so that's no bueno. Now it's going to take him a long
Yeah.
time to build up those 3 or 4 tanks that he lost. Now, do we have carriers or something anywhere?
See, that's what I was expecting as the follow-up, right? It's not going to happen at least yet. We're still sticking on that Reaver tech. I mean, that's a lot to lose, right? You're losing shuttles, Reavers, all your gateway units. So it's going to take some time to rebuild afterwards. But Bonet's macro super good. He's gotten that third base up. His Maynarded probes to it. So somebody told me this the other day. Apparently, the Maynard is only the first transfer of workers. I thought it was any transfer of workers. Are they trying to gatekeep my terminology?
Okay. I don't know who said that. I'm pretty sure if you just transfer workers, that's Maynarding.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're getting into semantics now at that point.
Right, at that point, it's like, wow, dude, this is the hill you're going to die on. Okay, anyway, the workers have been transferred. End of story. And so 3 bases are up. Now, it's not like 4 bases or 5 bases. We're not running away with the economy yet. But look at that upgrade. It's +1 air weapons. And that can only mean one thing.
Yeah, it's going to be carriers. And, you know, I think Kogut moves out with like 4 or 5 fact at 1-1. He would have a really strong push, but this is Escalade where it's extremely hard to move up and down ramps. But we did see that he went for Starport. So it's not like he's going to have a fast timing anytime soon. So the carriers are going to get up, but it looks like Bonnet is actually going to be aggressive here. I don't know how that's going to work out for him, though, because we already got 4 tanks at least on the high ground, ready to get in position for an incoming goon attack. We just scan and see that carriers are coming out.
This is what, like, so here's how Terran's fighting.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he's diving past. There's only 1 tank at the Nat. Where'd the rest of them go? Are they extinct? Are they like a treasure hunt or something? They're not there protecting the natural. Reaver's in. There's nothing to stop this. Huge shots on the mineral line. This is getting busted. Bond's just going for it.
Yeah, the units are clumped up on the ramp, so he can't come down. Nat does get busted. He's going to back off for now. What is this going to trigger Kogut to go for?
Oh, he's waiting for the tank to come down. They're unsieged. He's sieging up.
No.
Right as the tank sieges, he's going to pop it. Almost 1 shot it. Second one is going to go down here as well. He doesn't quite have enough to 1-shot it. I mean, he does. The shots are coming off. There it goes, targeted down the Goliath. The high ground mischance isn't strong enough to protect it. He just drops right on that tank. Sure, there's another one on the high ground, but the Reaver shot is good.
Oh,
He's going to take down that tank. He's going to take down the tank on the high ground. Bonnet is a master. He's a ghost buster. Bustin' makes him feel good. He's going for it, and there's nothing to stop this. GG Kogut taps out, and Bonnet takes game number 1, our Polish powerhouse winners match.
Yes. So we had 1 base play. Finally, PVT, we got 1 base play. You know, we only see 1 base play, PVT and PVZ very rarely.
It's a rare thing, but it's a treat when it's Bonnet.
Yes. And Kogut did a good job. Like, he lost a lot of SCs, but it was even for a long time. I was really expecting him to go for a lot of factories.
Right.
He just had no tanks. Remember, he lost 4 tanks.
That
dive at the beginning with those Reavers was so scary. Oh my God, Bonneth is so good. Kogut did a great job holding off, but that second time where he just didn't have the tanks in position to block the natural, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, he just drops the main if you have all your tanks in the natural, right?
Yeah, so this looks like nobody's gonna be able to stop Bonneth. I don't think. He's just got too much, too good of control. He's macroing like a beast, even when he doesn't have that many units. There wasn't even that many goons in Reaver. It was what, like 8 goons in one Reaver? It just doesn't matter. And he was powering really hard behind it. You would think, well, there's no way he's going to do this attack. And he still goes for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bonneth saw True Touch win BSL twice in a row, and he's like, wait a second, that looks like fun. So he's coming for it. It's only the Ro16, guys, so you can't count it out just yet. Got it. Anything can happen. So don't get it twisted. We still have more games on the way. It's only 1-0 right now, and it's a best of 3. So let's get into game number 2 and see if Kogut can come back or if Bonneth is going to boost a rocket into the round of 8. The map is going to be whiteout. Okay, I was like, wait a second. Is this a salty run back? I don't know. The map is whiteout, which makes a lot more sense here. I don't know. This is traditionally a pretty rough map for Terran because the map is dark and full of terrors, but let's see if Kogut can bring it back or if Bonneth is going on to the round of 8 as we get into game number 2.
In the top right, in the red, we have our Polish Terran. He's down 1-0. It is Kogut.
That's right. And his opponent in the left side of the map, in the blue, playing Protoss, also from Poland. This is Bonneth, up 1 game in the series. He's so good, man.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like he can be stopped. Like, he dictates the flow of the game every single game. Like, PvZ, he goes for Zealots. Just in your face immediately, dictates PvZ. We have 1 base play, PvT. So Terran's always on the back foot. And then PvP, even though DeWalt had like superior tech, superior army, Bonneth was the one attacking DeWalt. So he just always likes to dictate the flow of the game. It's so hard to play against players like this. And when somebody's playing like this, they're feeling confident. So Bonneth, he's looking to end this 2-0. He looks really good today. But Kogut is strong, but we didn't get to see what he really wants to go for because he just got shut down so quickly.
Oh, yeah. Bonneth's looking good. Actually, so some of our Spanish viewers who are tuning in, because we got a big host from South American streamers, they were saying Nyokin should speak more Spanish. So I was thinking, so Spanish is my second language, and the way to describe Bonneth playing here, you ready? We're going to teach Nyokin some Spanish here. Okay, K Rico.
Rico.
There we go. It means, oh, you're so handsome.
Oh, the only Spanish I know is guapo.
Oh, right? Well, that's also appropriate for Bonneth's play style. He's looking good. Now, Kogut knows how to build SCVs, like I said earlier, which is the hallmark of all great Terran players. Now, let's see what he's going to go for here, because unfortunately, we're not scouting first like we expect out of our players.
Yes, so we do have standard cybernetics follow-up. I don't see a Zealot this time for Bonneth, so he's not putting on any pressure. Meanwhile, Kogut, I think, did go for standard 12 gas here, so everything looks very normal. We're going to have to see how many Marines he wants to build. 2 or 3, generally, unless he's going to go for an FD, which we did see. Actually, Kogut was the one that did hard FD on this map versus Cheetech.
Oh, you're right.
That's not what he's going for this game.
Also, a very different caliber of Protoss.
Yes, very, very different. So I don't think that Bonneth or Kogut is going to try to go for that again. We still could have FD, but really, I'm not a big fan of FD. He's on his 2nd Marine right now. He has pulled off of gas. There's no way this pro gets a kill. If it does, I'm out of here. I am actually
he's
out.
Going for it.
Oh, can he find it?
No way. One more shot. He's diving. Oh, no, he's getting targeted down. Wait until he regens his shields. He's coming back.
The pro can shoot through an entire mineral field, so maybe it will range it from the back.
That's so close. Why is it so close, Nyokin? Oh, he's going to get... okay, the pro's going to go. Whatever. Now let's see if this Dragoon can kill the SCV. That's the real mystery. Is it going to shoot? Is it not going to shoot? Nobody knows.
Oh, he got it. So SCV doesn't get a very good scout off at all. Probe went down pretty quickly, and we saw Koget actually go for Fast Vulture versus Kosudark, so he could go for that here. He's actually skipping the add-on, so that means that he's going to get up a faster command center. He's going to be probably going into Siege, since he didn't get the add-on fast. Otherwise, he would have gone into Fast Vulture or Fast, just tank rallied out. So this looks like it's going to be a Siege expand, which actually is going to be good versus what Boneth is doing, because he's going 2-gate again. Very unusual that he's playing so defensive versus Koget. Remember, he went 2-gate last game after his initial Zealots.
Yeah, and then 2-gate into Obs. And I'm just like,
Obs.
wait a second. There needs to be a Nexus mixed in here somewhere. But I mean, obviously it works out. So, who are we mere mortals to question the build order of gods? But it does seem a little bit confusing because it doesn't feel like he's under any pressure.
No, he's not under any pressure this time. We see that, of course. There's no starport, there's no second factory, there's no nothing. It is just standard play. Tank is coming out. I'm actually surprised that this was not Siege, but he is just going to rally out tanks nonstop. And actually, 4 is the magic number for goons. So if Koget is ever not paying attention and we do get 4 goons out, he could 2-shot a tank very quickly. He does go standard eBay follow-up because he didn't get off a good scan or get off a good scout, so he's making sure to cover all of his bases. We actually see Citadel coming up, so this looks like this is going to be 2-base Arbiter, which is something pretty uncommon for me to see from Bonnet.
Yeah, also, it's really uncommon for Bonnet too. Bonnet's definitely a Shuttle Reaver guy. He can macro it out if he wants to go kind of Gateway Man style, but either that or carriers. Like, Bonnet's like kind of carrier god too, so to see this style is a little bit weird because, 2-base Arbiter, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually that's it works specifically against a lot of timings. It's not like the 3-base Arbiter where you're trying to just play a normal game, right?
Oh yeah, if you 2-base timing in the Arbiters, you're just asking to lose because they're gonna have Arbiters out. They're gonna have, maybe they don't have stasis, but it's not like you have 3 comp sets. You can't scan forever, so you're gonna run out of scans. Then once stasis comes up, you're gonna get punished extremely hard. You don't have the econ behind it. What a lot of players do nowadays is they go fast 2-base Arbiter, then they double expand off of it because they know they can shut down all timings. By then, they can have an observer into your base to analyze, okay, is this guy going for a timing? Is this guy going for 2-1? Oh, he's going 2-1, I'll double expand. He can't attack.
Right.
So it's very flexible. We do have a Robo, or a Robo did complete. We've got...
Are we dropping DTs?
Yeah, it looks like this is a DT drop because there's no Stargate. It would have come up at the same time as the Temple Archive. So DT drop. Now I'm thinking back to the Ghosted Art game. Remember, he needed to have the turrets to defend the entrance from Ghosted Art. And I noticed that his academy was extremely late, and I don't see an academy for him. So this drop gets in, this turret gets focused down. We're dead. There's nothing to actually counter DT drop because they can just load up into the shuttle again.
I mean, I was really impressed with Koget's ability to have that crisis management, defend against Gosudark's 4 DT run-in, because he sniped the turret, he was sniping tanks, and Koget did what all Terran players wish they could do but can't, and that is control their SCVs perfectly in a crisis. He got these perfect SCVs walls up, he got the panic turrets built to survive. But this is Bonnet we're talking about, and he's not waiting for the 4 DTs to run in. He's just getting 2 DTs in a shuttle and going, and he's already halfway across the map.
Well, we've got a turret ring for Koget, and he's actually going for 5-fact timing. But he needs to get an academy up if he's going to go for the timing. There it is. It just starts. And actually, this is going to be a good build versus Bonnet because his Stargate is delayed quite a bit. It's not super fast 2-base Arbiter. He will have the shuttle, of course, but stasis is going to be a long ways away. He's not going to take damage to this drop. There's just too much. He might lose like a depot or so, but I mean, that's not a huge, oh my God, is he going to pick off the academy? Now that's the big loss.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to build it in time. He's got to cancel it. He doesn't. So this is already starting to be a little bit rough. No academy means he's either going to have to build it somewhere else or, oh, no, not going to do it that way. He's trying to do splash damage by targeting the SCV to deal, friendly fire, but it's not. He's trying to run the. He snipes the Marine, so the tank can't target it. He's gonna try to run it again. He actually misses the splash damage. Oh, actually, no, he hit it. There we go. Kills
Ooh,
one with
he
the
got
friendly
one.
fire splash damage. This is big brain strats right now. He gets another one. He needs one more splash damage shot, but he's just gonna pick up and run out. Defending DTs without detection, Kogut, what a god.
I mean, he loses a lot of SCVs there. He loses multiple depots. He loses the academy, and now is this actually
Two base carrier?
We're going carriers after going for a DT.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so unusual.
We've got gas for days. We're mining oil in Alaska. This is the North Sea, dude.
Look at that. He's moving out. Really? He doesn't have the comm stat. And Bonneth knows you don't have
Wait,
it.
what if there's ADT?
Yeah.
Watch him friendly fire kill this. Watch him do it.
With what?
The unsieged tanks. They're big shotgun shells, dude. I don't know, dude. Look at this. Why do you move out against DTs, Kogut?
It's different if Protoss doesn't know you have no scans, but he knows that there's no scans.
Yeah, he killed the academy. I mean,
It's working somehow.
yeah, he does scan and move out past it, but I mean, damn, dude.
He's going for a timing. So he's doing a timing. He's gonna move out. He knows that Bonneth uses plays like this to power hard, whether it's Reaver into carrier or in this specific scenario, DT into carrier. So he wants to get out ASAP because he knows Bonneth is skimping out on units, and he's right. But he's got to get turrets up. If there's no turrets out, literally this one DT saves the game for him. It gets wiped out though, and we're on the brink of being all the way at his natural. It's 5 fat, so it's a lot of units.
Yeah, and it's mostly just Dragoons, so it's not like there's a big zealot, like speed zealots to run in on the tanks or anything. Kogut's looking good, dude. He defends, he holds on, he's got a bunch of factories pumping out. He's got a ton of vultures to defend with like mines, hard pushing with turrets and SCVs, and the carriers are nowhere to be seen. These things take forever to get up.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the money to even build a second carrier. But Kogut needs to get going pretty quickly, even though he's pushing right now. He needs to continue to keep going forward. He does not have an armory. He does not have upgrades going. So this is all or nothing for him. It's not like we have the upgrades to fall back on. There's no Goliath to actually help defend versus these carriers. If we can get up 4 carriers, Bonneth can hold easily. But this is a huge tank count, huge vulture count also. I think he's actually just going to get all the way in there.
Well, he's not there yet. Dragoons take those free shots. Loses another OBS. Or just kidding. He's Moneth, so of course they stay alive. But this is a dangerous game. He's playing the waiting game. He needs to bottle it up, and then explode out and stop this push. Doing that is so hard, especially when you're waiting on carriers. These things take forever, like I said. You might try to bulldog in the meantime or do some sick mind drags or something. He's got to figure out a way to hold this push off.
I think that Kogut's actually done it. He's got so many turrets. He's got so many tanks. Bonneth is now choked up at his natural. He cannot come out and fight this. He's got 6 gate, but there's no speed on zealots yet. He really can't engage this, and now we're right here. He's almost in range of the Nexus, and we don't even have interceptors out on this carrier.
He's gonna try to do a little bit of a zealot bomb. Takes out a tank with a zealot. It's not bad. You know, he knows there's mines around here too, so he's gonna try to take out another tank almost, but not quite. And now the tanks are sieging closer and closer, almost in range of this Nexus.
Yeah, and turrets are actually really good versus carriers. People underrate them. If we can just continuously build turrets. Here we go. He's decided now's the time.
He sacks the shuttle, but doesn't kill off the tanks. Some splash damage, but it's not enough. Popping a couple of the front tanks, but there's a pretty deep line here, fighting with basically just Dragoons, some Zealots, but he just can't do it. He's got to pull back.
There's just not enough from Bonneth. And also, even though he kills some of the tanks, he didn't kill any of the turrets. So the carriers, when they come out, they still have a huge turret field to run through. Luckily for Bonneth, the tanks aren't in range of the Nexus. Okay, I have to say that now we are in Nexus. So Bonneth is actually on a counter now. He's got to get these carriers to be a success. Otherwise, Kogut's going to even this series.
I mean, that would just be so sick if he can do it. I absolutely think he's in a position to, like you said, so many turrets. Those SCVs are just not going to stop building turrets. They're still going at it, and these interceptors take forever to build.
This is actually, I think, the move that Bonneth has to go for. He's going to give up his nat. He has absolutely no econ after this nat goes down because his name's going to be going up soon. But he can't stop it. So he's going to just try and hold his entrance with his ground. He's going to counterattack with 2 carriers. If he can pick off tanks nonstop or just any reinforcements nonstop, that's going to prevent Terran from actually reinforcing, right? And they're not going to feel confident to actually push up here, I don't think.
And
he has no Goliath.
Yeah, it isn't free to push with all these turrets. That's still pretty expensive.
Oh my God, look at that armory. It's right there. We can pick off the armory.
He can kill the armory. If he targets the armory right now, he's got to kill off the turret first.
No!
And then he's got to kill off the armory. So
he can pick off those Goliaths as they pop out and then pick off the armory.
I mean, he's got to go for it. It's only 2 carriers.
It's
keep in
3
mind.
now.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's pretty decent. High ground is a great way to defend against tanks. Siege shots are pretty strong. He's not going for the armory, Nyoken.
Well, he decides that he can't hold the high ground, but I think that's actually wrong. I think he can
because
hold
he
it.
has carriers popping out at home.
Yeah, at least kill the armory. He's letting it survive for now. So actually, Kogut is going to be able to get up a consolidated Goliath defense. But at least for now, Kogut can't reinforce. But Boneth doesn't have that much money. He's just going to act. Okay, this is a smart move from Kogut. He's actually just going to turn around, be content with denying the nat. He knows there's no other bases up. This is fine. Look at how desperate Boneth is. He's shuttling a probe to top left to take a Nexus. And it's, the ball
Oh, no
almost
way
finds
he
it.
has that star sense. I mean, he's going to try to straight up fight this, but like you said earlier, there's just too many turrets here. He's trying to pick off the tanks to just hold the high ground for a little bit more, but losing these interceptors is the only thing keeping him alive.
Yeah, the turrets are very strong versus carriers, but now we're about to have 5 carriers. They do have +1, I think. Meanwhile, remember, Terran has no upgrades. So there's no 2-1 here. 2-1 is
That's true.
is the most important breakpoint. But I've been surprised sometimes by how powerful +1 Goliaths are, and it is wide out. So if Goliath can find a good angle to, like right now, if he could intercept these carriers in the trees, he would get off free kills. But Boneth is running out of money. He's got to get another base up. Otherwise, he's going to be broke in the next minute or so. Oh, he might find them.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Observer sees it, but he doesn't see the carrier.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, yeah, the carrier's in a little bit of trouble trying to move forward, but he doesn't have high ground to micro over. I mean, it's a good position there because he's able to snipe some Goliaths, but he's still losing interceptors. The carrier count is actually still growing here, Nyoken. We're at 4 or 5? Yeah, 4 so far, and the interceptor count's not that bad.
Yeah, he's got 5 carriers. He's actually in an okay position. As long as he can get top left, we're okay. Not getting the armory was a huge mistake. We're mined out, actually. We got to shuttle probes out to top left, but he hasn't done it just yet. He's about to be not mining in about 10 seconds. Look at the supply, though. 120 to 120. Super even. Ooh, he might catch.
Yeah, but you're never supposed to be even as Protoss. I mean, this is the dark, scary woods. You can't fight here. It's as Terran, you don't want to walk in and be surprised. It's also hard to target the carriers through all of that, and he's going to be pushed back again. The carrier control, though, is actually super Gosu, so he's targeting down these Goliaths one by one. His carrier count is still very healthy, very strong. Interceptors high, and, I mean, Kogut's been pushed all the way back, but still, there's no mining for Boneth at his natural. The third base is, the natural expansion at the third base is still very vulnerable, and he's mined out in his main.
Yeah, now he's just now transferring to top left. But Boneth is doing a really good job killing as much as possible with these carriers and really not losing anything. He lost an observer. Who cares? There's only 10 Goliaths left? That's not enough to face 5 carriers. I actually think Boneth might do it here.
Really?
Yeah, he just doesn't have critical mass Goliath.
And he doesn't actually even have that many factories. Is he only on 3 factories?
He has 5 factories.
Okay.
So he can definitely
1,
pump
2,
out
3, 4,
more.
5. Yeah.
The thing is if Boneth can get out 1 more carrier, I think 1 more carrier is the magic number we need. Then we can just start killing everything. We're at 5 right now. He started to shuttle probes.
Yeah, but Boneth's out of money. He can't build interceptors anymore.
But he's not losing very many interceptors because they're not +2 weapon carrier Goliaths. They're not critical mass Goliaths. So I think carriers can actually bust through right now. Maybe not right now, but what I'm saying is I don't think Boneth is out despite having so little. Okay, he's gonna get a Rax. I mean, anything is hurting Kogut a lot because that cuts in 2. Now he's not building more factories. It's only at 5. He's got a lot of gap. Look at him scramble to get up more factories.
Yeah, he just knows he needs that critical mass. If he doesn't have it, he is. It's very scary. His Goliath's count's still okay, but you'll notice he's not doing anything.
Yeah, but now we're about to have 7 carriers. He's so confident now. He's got +2 weapon for air coming in. 7 carriers with high ground is super scary, and now he's shuttling in. Goliaths are trying to get that carrier, but he can't get it.
Here, but they're pushing him back, and actually even the wounded carrier's coming back into fight. Look at the stutter step. He's trying to maybe dive in on that wounded carrier, but Bon's just treating it like it's full HP. He doesn't even care. You see that Assassin Goliath try to come snipe it? This is not Assassin's Creed Brood War Edition. He can't get it. In the end, who care that? The carriers are so strong, so powerful. He's diving on it. He's trying to pick it off. Can he get it? Can he target it? Can he click it? He can't get it.
He doesn't get it.
There's 2 in red health with 1 HP.
He still can't get it. Oh, he gets 1.
Okay, he does get 1. Okay, maybe it's time.
Gets 2.
He gets the head up. But look, the Goliaths, they're all dead.
Okay, now that he's gotten both of those carriers, it's actually spawned a lot for Bonnet, or for Koget. But now he has no units. If those 5 carriers survive, 100% I think Bonnet takes this, because he can just go kill that armory. He knows where it is. It's so isolated. But now that it's only 3, super dangerous to be poking in like
But
this.
he's rallying in the other carriers that popped out. So they're coming back in. It's going to be back up to 5 pretty soon here. And the Goliath count is like 2.
Yeah, there's really not that many Goliaths. The thing is Bonnet doesn't know about mid-right. He sees that there's no third base here, so he thinks he's fine. But he's actually not.
Wait, Bonnet does know about. Oh, no, he doesn't. You're right.
But has he done it? There's goons now. SCVs being pulled. There are a lot of Goliaths holding off these interceptors.
I think the interceptor count's starting to drop a little low. Maybe pull back and wait for full.
We need to wait a little longer. But look at the supply for Koget. He's down 30 supply now.
Wait, what? Hello? Please respond. What's going on here?
He's got 5 carriers, man.
Okay, he has like 18 probes not mining, but whatever. Nobody cares. Did he do it?
The goons are still alive, dealing a lot of damage. There's also no mining for the SCVs now. Oh God. What?
I'm so confounded by this game. It's just so remarkable. So there's the tank count is basically 0. Armor has not completed, which means these Goliaths are still 0-0. They're not where they need to be. The micro, look at this carrier control. Disgusting.
Yeah, these carriers are never dying. The question is just, does the interceptor count fizzle out? It looks like it's just barely going to fizzle out, and Koget is going to hold for now. But Bonnet was so close to actually just ending this game. If he kills those Goliaths, he's definitely killing the armory, and then he's just got free reign over the entire, I guess, Terran base. Now, what I'd like to see Bonnet do is try and sneak top middle with a probe. Then he can start spamming like shield batteries there.
Ooh, but now the observer finds this 3 o'clock base. Now that Bonnet knows about it, he did lose a carrier. He was up to 5, now down to 4. His his carrier micro is a little bit lacking right now. He's getting some good shots trying to take out these Goliaths. He's doing a good job with the carrier micro to whittle them off 1 by 1. He continues to take shots on these carriers, and he hasn't reached that critical carrier mass of 6 or 7 yet.
Yeah, he's never gotten the critical mass. It's still only at 4. And now Terrans, I think, actually has critical mass. Goliath almost needs maybe a couple more. Interceptors are fizzling out. +2 weapon just kicked in for Moneth, though, so that might be a game changer for him. Oh, he's got 6 now. I would have loved to see shield batteries right where the carriers are right now. Then we just perma heal
that would
forever,
be insane. Yeah.
while also taking that Nexus.
That would actually be the biggest brain move. The proxy shield battery for carriers. Oh, I love it. I don't think we're going to see it, but we do see a crazy high number of carriers, and the Goliath count's been built back up because he does have those extra factories, but he needs to kill the carriers, and he can't do it.
If he can't kill them, it's so hard to fight carriers over a ledge. They just move in and out of vision, and the Goliath AI just messes up. So
7 carriers.
Oh my gosh, he's got 7. This is what I was thinking. If he can use the carriers to pick off comsats, DTs all of a sudden become very scary. So, but that is a lot of Goliaths now. They do have 1-1 though, but again, still no +2 for him. I don't even think he can afford it. He had a big gas bank for a long time, but now it has dwindled almost completely. SCVs are transferring to bottom middle. He's hiding the base there, but DTs going to mid-right are going to shut down this base.
What Protoss player gets their nat busted, is mined out, and still plays this kind of game? Insane. I mean, Boneth is just next level. So let's see if he can kill this base off with the DT. Obviously, it should take it out, but let's watch this fight. Again, the carrier count insanely high. This is like 8 carriers, I think. Can we get a count on that? It's either way, it's just gigantic. He's at
Look at the
7 carriers still, but that's just so many interceptors.
They just don't even fire. They're taking free hits while they're just glitching around the edges. It's so annoying to play versus this style. Is that a whole position DT? No.
I think
No. It's just he scans. Ooh, tanks are gonna take it out. But Bonnet does need to get another base, but I think he's just, well, I don't even know, because Koget's hidden bottom middle.
Now that's the one that makes me a little bit worried because carriers are great and everything, and even though Bonneth is also expanding, he is expanding, right? Yeah. I don't know if even that is going to be enough here because as Protoss, you need to be like bases up on your Terran opponent because, I mean, we started out with 0-0 for a million years, but the upgrades are coming in.
DT gets picked off immediately. Here come the carriers, though. Zealots are trying to buffer some of the damage, and they soak up a lot of hits. Bonneth, he's trying to push through. He has 7
Did Koget
carriers.
overextend here?
It's falling.
Yeah, the Goliath count is falling. They only have +1. The carriers still have insane numbers of interceptors. The Zealots on the ground are actually the scariest thing because they're taking out the Goliaths faster than the interceptors.
There's no Goliaths.
No, he just has nothing. Look at the supply count. We're doubling up. Oh my God.
Bonneth on the brink of losing everything, holds the push. He's gonna bust through, kills all the Goliaths. Mid-right's gonna go down. He's gonna take a game that was almost a guaranteed win for Koget. Just steal it from him.
He killed his natural nexus. He hard pushed him with infinity turrets. And now, losing his third base, his hidden base is maybe the saving grace here, but the Goliath count is just shockingly low.
There's not enough Goliaths. Critical mass is 3 or 4 Goliaths per carrier. There's 7 carriers. That means we have to have almost 30 Goliaths, and he's never had that. And that's if you're factoring not having a ground army, which he did have. Look at how fast they died. It's GG any moment now.
Yeah, you just can't do it. This is crazy town. Bonneth, he's so good. He's just transcendent. I mean, Koget, look at how strong he was this game. He did the best he could, did critical damage to Bonneth, but he sneaks out, ferries probes to another hidden base, starts mining there, keeps the carrier count high. He's only lost like what 2-3 carriers this game, and sure they're the only lifeline that he has between total defeat, but it's a pretty strong lifeline.
Incredible, actually incredible. Just save. Oh my God, dude. Koget's gonna try and hide another bit. What is he doing? He's sending all the SCDs. I guess he's just gonna send everything.
I guess.
mean, he might as well. There's no way he's gonna kill these carriers. So he's just gonna tap out.
Yeah, I know this is it.
Bonneth was on one base like the whole game. You realize that, right? He had a natural for a little bit, and then he got that eliminated, and then he lost. He mined out his main, and then just survived off carriers in one base. NDT.
How does he do it? GG. Koget taps out, and Bonneth will take a 2-0 victory for a flawless 4-0 in the group to advance on to the round of 8. Mind-blowing. It transcendent. What a performance there. We hyped this guy up, but I hope you guys don't think we're biased, because look, the hype is real.
Yeah. DT carrier. What name a better combination? Think about it. 40 damage on the ground.
Okay.
And then about infinity damage in the air. Like, it's crazy.
It's
like,
math, guys.
So powerful. And ledges are Terran's absolute nightmare. But Bonneth played it how you should play it. If you can abuse the ledges, go for it. What a comeback. I actually can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't even. Wow, what an insane group. We've got over 760 people out here watching it, and I think you guys tuned in at the right time. If you're not familiar with the BSL, we've got plenty more games coming up, so you've got lots more action to watch. There's a reason this tournament's so great. It's you guys, the players, maybe us a little bit, but also the tournament itself is just such an incredible showcase of all of this global talent outside Korea. With the win there, Bonneth advances on to our incredibly stacked round of 8. And now we have to find out our final player that will join him in that round of 8. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, it's going to probably... Well, no, we got to find out. It's Ghostudark versus DeWalt coming up. Ghostudark has looked off today, so it's going to be really rough for him. But, I mean, DeWalt was mismicroing quite a bit. Like, he wasn't controlling his Reavers that well, despite having, so many of them. So maybe Ghostudark can make some magic happen. But it looks like it's going to be DeWalt versus Koget. But Koget looks strong, so it's going to be up in the air for who comes out.
Either way, the winner plays True Touch. You can see there in that round of 8 bracket. So it's like, congratulations, you won. Now you play this guy that's won BSL more times than anyone else. So look, it's a scary season. These players are all incredibly, incredibly strong. I mean, I just can't hype this up enough. If you thought today's games were good, the round of 8 is coming up in a couple weeks. You do not want to miss it. All of these guys are incredibly powerful, and they just make for incredible games like the one you just saw. I hate using the word incredible all the time. I'm going to start using other generic words like awesome, amazing, but it's all of those and more. So
I think you guys understand I'm not overhyping this because the games are just that good. So coming up next, we've got Ghost of Dark versus DeWalt. And it is a PvP, so anything can happen. And I get kind of similar vibes from DeWalt that I get from Eon Zerg, where he should win, but you never want to count out, not having a good day. Because it did look like both of those players were a little bit off the highest level that we've seen them play.
Yeah, DeWalt, despite having good openings and good builds, just something was not going well for him versus Bonnet.
Yeah.
It just seems to be his nemesis. Like every time, there are games where it's like really close and then there's just some type of micro slip. And that's what we've been seeing. But I mean, I think he's got more than a good chance versus Ghost of Dark. He looks solid other than the micro. So we're going to have PvP coming up. It is going to be on
the map. Whiteout.
So it's gonna be on Whiteout. We've seen all of our best games on Whiteout. That was an incredible game.
That's true. Okay, Whiteout's the map that's delivering. I know maybe not the greatest map for Terran, but it's still choice. And especially when it comes to PvP. In PvP, you have to make sure you have either the same or more Dragoons, because that can really decide the map very volatilely. If I can make up a word. But you can't do that on Whiteout because you don't know. You're in the dark woods if you just path through the middle of the map. So anything can happen. We're here in the elimination match to find out which player will be eliminated from BSL Season 9. Is it DeWalt, the Season 5 champion? Is it Ghost of Dark, the, Dark Horse? The Ghost of Dark Horse. There we go. The map is Whiteout. It's game number 1, so let's get into it and see who's going to advance on to play Kogut for the final spot in the round of 8. All right, here we go. In the upper right-hand corner, the map Whiteout. In the blue, playing Protoss from South America, it is Ghost of Dark.
And in the mid-left, in the red, it is DeWalt. So DeWalt had really good builds versus Bonnet, but really just couldn't use them effectively. Meanwhile, Ghost of Dark also had okay builds, but we were cutting a lot of probes. Now, fortunately, PvP is a matchup where you can cut probes, and it's still okay if you're one basing, which Ghost of Dark does tend to go for quite a bit. Now, Ghost of Dark, he has a lot of options here. We're going to have 3-gate. We're going to have DT. So many options in PvP for him. DeWalt, I think we can probably gather, is probably 1-gate robo, 2-gate robo. Shuts down almost all of those things that Ghost of Dark will go for. So I'm really expecting to see just safe defensive play from DeWalt and Ghost of Dark trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I would say Ghost of Dark does need to be a little bit more proactive. DeWalt looked a little bit shaky, but he's still got the fundamentals. He's still incredibly strong. So let's see what's going to happen here. It is PvP, so you always have to keep an eye on those early build orders. Is it 2-gate to start to be super aggressive? They go 3-gate or DTs. There's a lot of rock, paper, scissors. So yeah, for Ghost of Dark, it's kind of hard to characterize him. This is the farthest he's ever made it in BSL before, and one of the reasons that stops him is either he runs into a super solid player who sort of Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax offs his wacky all-ins, or he does kind of struggle with some fundamentals sometimes if it does get down to a battle of nerves. Both players scouting each other. Scout comes in from Ghost of Dark, so he's going to get in. It's the only one gateway. Gas just now finishing up, so nothing looks weird.
Yeah, DeWalt going straight cybernetics, so is Ghost of Dark, so everything is identical. Actually, Zealot coming in for Ghost of Dark, so he's the one that's gonna probably be aggro, or he may just be building a Zealot to just make it defensively. We see that DeWalt has now started his own Zealot, so he's just gonna match the Zealot timing of Ghost of Dark. Now, something to notice here is, even though they have the exact same build, Ghost of Dark is already down 1 probe. So, as I was saying, he just always cuts here and there. So, this may already be a tell that we're going to go past 2-gate, past 3-gate. Seems a little bit too early to be. Oh, there's Citadel. Now, is that probe locked up behind the Citadel? Oh, it is locked up. We lost the probe doing that.
But, no.
Oh, it did get out.
It was just mining.
Okay. So, there's no scout for DeWalt. What happened to it? It's about to come in. Zealot and a probe. Okay. Why is there a probe on the ramp also? He really does not want this to come in. this could be a mind
Yeah, 'cause
game.
if it's just a zealot, you can kind of glitch through around if you're like really, if it's not perfectly in center. So he really is playing very cautiously.
Well, this is the fastest you can get a Citadel up because he instantly built it as soon as the cybernetics was done. Now, if I was DeWalt, I would try and send a probe up right now because my goon popped. If there's no goon at the nat or at the ramp, then I would think, okay, this guy's definitely going tech. Now, he didn't do that, so he's not able to judge the exact timing. Goes Dark loses his probe now. He saw that there's no robo just yet. So far, this looks pretty good for DeWalt. I think the robo in Observer is going to be a little bit too late.
What do you mean too late?
Too late to get up in time before the DT comes out. Archive is almost done. If that's a second gate, we're dead. Okay, there's the robo.
Okay, there's the robo. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's not over yet. We still have yet to see what the DT is going to do. Still using the Dragoon to now block the scout coming in again. DeWalt's been denied complete vision. And yeah, I mean, he has no idea what's going on. It looks pretty normal.
This actually does look somewhat normal. Of course, he doesn't have range, but other than that, okay, now what he's checking for is when this goon comes in, he wants to see if Ghost of Dark has range. Well, he went in too early because his range didn't finish. But if he had saw that my goon has range and yours doesn't, then we know that something's going on, that it's a robo or Citadel or something. And here we go. This is going to be defensive play from DeWalt as expected. This is 3-gate Observer. Can the DTs get across in time? The more I'm looking at it, the more I think that actually DeWalt's just going to hold this easily.
Yeah, 3-gate obs is such a good way to deal with this because you'll just have so much. You don't have to worry about like losing to Shuttle Reaver popping in your base, right? And then, you could read into the pro block on the ramp, but wait a second, something's going on, and just guess DTs. And if he does, then he's right. So congratulations. He does have the better Dragoon count. He's got high ground, which is obviously a great way to hold. And neither player's built in the Nexus just yet, but the DTs are already here, and the OBS is less than halfway done.
Yeah, but he saw that there's only 2. Oh, he's going to see the DT blur. Oh, he's going to see it. He needs to hold position, though, and that's what he's doing.
If he can hold with the Zealot, then that is actually a great way to stop that because you can only hit it with 1 DT.
Yeah, only 1 DT.
Oh, it glitches through. So the Zealot's actually dead. The DTs are in. The OBS is seconds away from popping out. There's only 4 Dragoons, and he can't micro that against almost even numbers, so he's going to have to stutter step backwards, trying to target down. These DTs, they take half damage or quarter, something like that from the Dragoon shot, so it's going to take a lot of them to take it out. He does kill them off, but look at the control. The spread on the Dragoons is way too good and goes too dark. Loses everything.
Yeah, he lost everything, killed 1 goon. So now what does he do? I think all you can really do at this point is we got to go like speed 4-gate. Okay, I'm glad to see that we have 3-gate at least, but I think we got to pull off gas now, go into speed zealots or something, because we're never going to win a macro game here. We committed too much, lost all of our units, killed 1 goon. So that's our only hope, is continue to all in. I'd really like to see a 4th gate. He's got up a decent amount of goons, 5-6 goons. That's enough to support 4 zealots or 4-gate zealots. So that's really all Ghost of Dark's going to have to go from. Also, he doesn't even have range just yet. So he's probably just going to get out micro.
Oh my God,
here.
Yeah, range versus no range is like infinity versus nothing. It just doesn't exist. So he sees nothing, and as long as there's no Nexus, he doesn't need any other information. If he's got one and you don't, you win the game. So just making sure that he's okay. He knows that the worst thing that can happen is all in round 2, and he's got the OBS in the main. He's going to see everything. He knows he sees the gateway count, but with no Nexus, none of this really means anything. He understands he needs to move back at home and defend, and he's going to do just that. Yeah,
all DeWalt needs to do, hold position at his nat, put up a pylon in front to soak up hits, and he's ready to go. If Ghost of Dark puts down a Nexus, which it looks like he's setting up for, oh gosh, there's just really no chance for him. He's down 5 probes. He's going to need like miraculous hits from a Reaver like Bonnet had earlier, but there's no tech for him. He's got Citadel, Temple Archive. A lot of players go into Zealot or Cannon Storm after DTs, but we don't see that. So everything is just super delayed. Meanwhile, the Waltz Nexus is about to come up. Ghost of Dark's going to attack, but we're not all inning. This is just middle of the road. We even have a Reaver coming up.
Yeah, I mean, the Reaver is kind of the nail in the coffin, right? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to micro around the Reaver? I think not.
Yeah, look at this concave.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Push into this? You're just asking to lose. You can't beat a concave of Dragoons with Reaver support.
Yep. So Reaver comes out, and if Ghost of Dark had any intention of attacking into this, that's going to be immediately denied by one Reaver. Ghost of Dark's going to try and set up a contain and try and macro from here, but he's already down so many workers. He absolutely cannot take this fight. Also, DeWalt has the Observer, so he knows where the goons are. He can just poke with the Reaver and force an engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, DeWalt is making the correct play to not do that and just play defensively. He doesn't have to because he's in an incredible position. But you can see even Ghost of Dark now pulling back. He knows he can't fight that.
Yeah, so Ghost of Dark is starting to set up for a potential drop. He's got a couple goons set up in position. We do have, I think, Reavers coming out for DeWalt. Meanwhile, Support Bay is coming up for Ghost of Dark. So he's going to try and match the tech, match the unit comp. But the econ is just flat out much better for DeWalt. He's just flat out always going to have more.
Well, yeah, Ghost of Dark has never been ahead in probes in any game ever until he wins. So, you know, it's a rough life. I mean, he might get lucky and, like, you know, snipe a shuttle Reaver coming in, he's thinking, but that's not going to happen. He's got cannons in his main. DeWalt's just, he's airtight. He's sealed. He's like one of those vacuum sealer bags that you see advertised on infomercials. There's no way to get inside. So for Ghost of Dark, what do? You just try to play your game? I don't know if that's going to work, buddy.
Well, he's doing a smart move is he's setting up in position to stop drops. But the problem when you are behind and you do that is now he's choked up at his natural. The Reaver shots, you're not going to have any surface area to actually get in big shots from your goons on top of the Reavers. So here comes DeWalt. He knows that. He's just going to force a fight at the natural, use Reavers, dish out those haymakers from way behind the goons. There they are. This is probably going to be the game-ending attack. There's nothing to... Oh, luckily there's one Reaver here, but no shuttle. So it's going to shuttle's so far forward.
Oh my god, yeah, that's actually very scary. If you lose that shuttle, that's one way to lose the game. But pushing forward, he's got double Reaver shuttle support. This is DeWalt. His shuttle micro.
His Reaver's not firing.
His Reaver's not firing. He picks it up. He drops it down. One Reaver goes down. He picks it up. He drops it down. Another Reaver goes down. The shuttle goes down. But look at all of the Dragoons coming in. There's just infinity Dragoons blotting out the sun. The Dragoons for Ghost of Dark are dying one by one. And Ghost of Dark will will tap out, and that is going to do it for game number one. DeWalt smashing it.
Yeah, DeWalt takes game one convincingly. Unfortunately, Ghost of Dark's aggro DT play didn't work out, and you can see the econ kick in for DeWalt. An overwhelming amount of goons. Probably could have just won with straight goons.
Yeah, I mean, the goon count is insane, but I think the biggest thing is obviously holding off that DT push, right?
Yeah, he killed one goon, and DeWalt killed two goons, a zealot, and two DTs.
Yeah.
So a huge trade for him. But I was a little worried because DeWalt's Reaver control, they all died instantly, but so did Ghost of Dark's.
Yeah, that's worrying. I mean, we've still got Kogut waiting for the winner of this series, right? So it's not really about who's the better player now. Well, I guess it is, but can you beat Kogut? And then can you beat True Touch once you get to the round of 8? I mean, this is the hardest group for a reason. So a lot on the line here. And it seems like Ghost of Dark, even though he's got these strategies, you got to be able to execute on them. And I think that even though DeWalt may not be playing at 100% today, he's more than well prepared when he knows what's coming.
Yeah, and Ghost of Dark, you know, in the first series versus Kogut, you know, he played more passive, more defensive, and he really tried to mind game Kogut there, but not being aggro. I feel like that could be a good play for him versus DeWalt, because DeWalt, without really scouting much, he saw Zealot on a probe. That could have been a mind game. It doesn't have to be tech. It could have just been standard play. He went 3-gate ob. You know, like Ghost of Dark could have just played Reaver or something and just played defensive himself. So maybe that's the method for success for Ghost of Dark. But right now, it just looks like DeWalt's just a little better.
Maybe a little better. The next map is Neo Sylphid for our second game of the series. DeWalt is up 1-0, so Ghost of Dark has got to bring it back now. The power of Peru in the palm of his hand. Can he do it? Let's get into game number 2 and see. All right, here we go in the 12 o'clock location, the map Neo Sylphid, in the blue playing Protoss from Peru. It is Ghost of Dark.
DeWalt.
DeWalt, what?
It is DeWalt.
Okay, sorry, the resolution is a little bit rough on my screen. I looked up there and I was like, does that say Gosu Dark? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna scoot up and use my grandma eyes to like look inches away from the screen now. All right, so I messed up my intro. You've got to nail this one. No pressure, Nyoken.
In the mid left, as the red, he is down 0-1 on the brink of elimination. It is Gosu Dark.
The real Gosu Dark, not the artist formerly known as Gosu Dark. Okay, so there we go. We saved it. Thanks, Nyoken. That's why we keep you around. I'm gonna give you like 5 esports dollars after this just for that successful intro. Anyway, I mean, look. So we've got a series on our hands that is 1-0 for DeWalt. How do you bring it back as Gosu Dark? Normally, I would say the answer is like any sort of super cheese. Maybe you go for the ultimate cheese that's 12 Nexus. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if he's going to go DT again, we should go into the Cannon Templar follow-up, which is what a lot of players go for. I really think he needs to fast expand, like 1 gate expand, 2 gate expand. Let DeWalt try and overreact by going overly defensive. Maybe that's how Gosu Dark can get into this game. But every time we've seen Gosu Dark, play standard or play normal, he's still cutting probes. So I don't really know what the recipe for success is, because DeWalt to me is like Dragon. He plays super cautious. He just super solid. If you try and just all in him, he's like never gonna die to it. So I don't know. Gosu Dark, he's gonna get off a scout first. So is DeWalt. He's gonna come in here and see that nothing's abnormal. Cybernetics is coming down for DeWalt. Cybernetics is coming down for Gosu Dark also. Everything is just normal.
Yeah, I don't even think that the game would ever really be decided at this point. I mean, the only way that you could do that is with like a proxy gate or something. That's not really going to happen. The return on investment there is low. So I think the biggest thing to do is maybe stop the DT tech. Maybe you go like 3 gate. Obviously a good way to handle going up against DeWalt, because I don't think you would ever expect him to go DTs,
Yeah, so we do have DeWalt playing defensive again. He's got a Zealot coming out because he knows Gosu Dark likes to be aggro. So at least you forced DeWalt to spend a little bit of money here. It's actually straight Dragoon for Gosu Dark. Now, the probes are alive in both bases. This time, DeWalt has actually gotten in, so Gosu Dark can't go straight Robo or straight Citadel or something like that. So he's just matching the goon timing. I'm waiting to see him to push away the probe, because we may see him instantly put down 2nd and 3rd gate.
I love the probes, like going to even, not even, not even. But it's close, which is not what we've seen for any other game this series. So he's not cutting as many probes. Gads. So, I mean, getting into Scout, he's going to see everything basically normal. The Cybernetics core is spinning, which is exactly what you want to see. Could be that fake air upgrade. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying. This, I think, is the way that you play against DeWalt, because he's going to play safe, and if you can just show up with more Dragoons, that's one way to do it.
So 3 gate versus 1 gate Robo. As soon as these gates finish, he needs to build 2 and go, because he's going to have a 2 goon advantage. We cannot wait till Reaver gets up. If this is 2 gate Observer or 3 gate Observer, maybe Gosu Dark can push in, but if it's going to be straight Reaver, Gosu Dark's on a clock. Now, DeWalt is poking in to see exactly what the goon count is. Now, he doesn't see anything abnormal. It is 2, so it's matching goon count. If he poked in there and saw like 4, then he knows that he's getting all in. He needs to go straight Reaver. So he needs to continue to poke in. See, this is the problem, is Gosu Dark's aggro. DeWalt knows he's aggro, and I just don't think this type of thing is going to work versus DeWalt. Let's say he even breaches the natural here, right? You're not going to... What are you going to get into the main? You're going to funnel in one at a time as Gosu Dark?
Yeah, where's your shuttle?
That's not going to happen.
You're going to glitch them through the wall? Brood War's not that broken, guys. So how do you get in is a big question. I don't know if there's a big answer to that. So, I mean, Robo's up, but I mean, still only 2 Dragoons right now. I love the Scouting Dragoon. This is the most dangerous thing you can do in PvP, because any shots that you take on this Dragoon means it's less able to fight than a full Dragoon. But seeing this is, knowing is half the battle, right?
Yeah, and now he confirms it with a probe coming in. So DeWalt immediately retreats to his main, Now he's got concave advantage. He's got a Zealot here that can soak up hits from a goon. So there's no way Ghost to Dark is getting in here. So DeWalt already has Robotech. Everything's going for him. He's got an Observer. No, we cannot come in. Is he going to really try and do it?
Well, he's just, I mean, you can form a small concave in that choke, but you can't push any farther forward. So he's going to try to take out the egg. Obviously, that's going to take a million years. And as soon as this Reaver pops out, what are you doing?
We're doing middle of the road again from Ghost to Dark. He went 3-gate, and now he's building more probes. Now he's building a robo. I actually thought he was going to expand behind this.
Yeah, I thought it was an expo behind this
too.
too.
It is. He is expanding. Oh, but this...
Okay.
I don't know, because there's going to be Reaver tech soon for DeWalt. And then once the Reavers start coming out, we're going to push this back. We're cutting Dragoons now. So the only way to fight Goon Reaver with no Reaver yourself is to have an overwhelming Goon count, which we don't have. At least he has the Nexus going up. So if he can get his econ rolling before the Reaver comes out, maybe he can have good engagement?
Yes, maybe. I mean, the biggest thing is that DeWalt is fine right now. And I think as long as he is okay on one base, he'll eventually be able to push out and be okay on two. Now, he's down a base, which is not what you want to have happen in PvP, but it takes so long to equalize after you invest in that expansion that it's still not, you know, totally over. It's not like Ghost to Dark, wow, what a huge advantage, because he still has to not die here.
Yeah, Reaver coming out for DeWalt. He's actually shuttling Zealots. We'll see, is this going to be a flank of Zealots, or what is this? Or is this going to be a counterattack to the natural? And that is going to be a counterattack. And I actually think that this is just a diversion. He's going to probably try and sync up the Reaver attack with the Zealots at the same time and then try and bust out the Nat. But actually, that's not going to happen because Goons already intercept them.
Yeah, the Goons are intercepting these Zealots, and that's just fantastic. They should be able to micro back against them. Zealots have 1 million HP. I mean, a literal million. Thank you for your deliberate interpretation. They're going to get picked off, though. Great micro here by Ghost to Dark.
The Nat.
Oh, this is so crazy. He doesn't lose the Dragoon, so mission accomplished there, but the Reaver's out. Now, this is dangerous. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, Ghost to Dark's actually got a good angle with these Goons, and he has a lot. So, yes, this is very dangerous. He's going to soak up one hit there, confirm that there is a Reaver. Oh,
but this is still scary.
Oh, my God, it's so far ahead. And he comes and he
oh, my God, he's going to two-shot it. Oh, he needs to target the shuttle. Oh, he gets the Reaver. Oh, my God, DeWalt just loses it. The shuttle was right there.
Okay, DeWalt... Ghost to Dark's actually in an okay position now. He's got matching Reaver count now. It's about to come out himself. He's got more Goons. He's got a natural up and running. But look at the probe count, man. It's still the same.
That's so crazy. I mean, DeWalt does have the superior Dragoon count. So at the end of the day, DeWalt's like, wait a second. Should I... Wait, I could just kill you, right?
So we have same worker count, same tech. Now we definitely do not have same Goon count. So even though that was a brilliant pickoff from Ghost to Dark, he just doesn't have enough units now.
I mean, look, if Ghost to Dark had changed his name to Ghost to Gark, at least he'd be able to type his initials here in a second.
It's 6 Goons in a Reaver versus like 15 Goons in a Reaver. Okay, maybe 10 Goons. But he's going to have Miraculous Micro, but there's no shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, watch this.
Oh,
Let's see if he can snipe the shuttle in the Reaver. He goes down. What is he doing? I mean, look, Dragoons are good. Are they that good? I don't know. He's diving on the Reaver, trying to pick it off, but it's still alive. It's still not able to shoot, though. So in the end, a huge concave of Dragoons from DeWalt is going to be able to push forward. Now, does he push far enough forward? One Reaver Scarab goes off, and he picks off one Reaver. There's another one crawling in for Ghost to Dark, and this should push DeWalt back.
Oh, my God. Ghost to Dark with the heroic shot onto the shuttle, gets the shuttle and the Reaver. Probe count is 1 ahead for Ghost to Dark now. He's actually going to start getting his econ rolling. DeWalt is still up 8 army supply, though. So
after losing 2 Reavers and 2 shuttles.
And there's no shuttle for Ghost to Dark either, so the Reaver is still very exposed. Luckily for DeWalt, he kept those 5 Goons at the end. But, oh my gosh. So this game is going to go on. There still is a lot of Goons for DeWalt, but he needs to get a Reaver up himself.
One of the reasons we say expos are kind of the nail in the coffin for PvP is because, you know, you mine more, but Ghost to Dark isn't mining more. He has almost exactly the same amount of workers.
Here we go. There's no shuttle this time.
Oh,
Reaver
wait.
took a big hit.
Yeah, he just tanks the shot to the dome there. Reaver one shot away if he gets targeted. Now moving forward, trying to snipe this Reaver with no shields. Scarab goes off, pops one Dragoon, but dies in the end. The Reaver dies for DeWalt too, though. And there's another one crawling in as the savior of this push.
Scarabs.
But there's no Scarab. He gets one off, but the Reaver dies. The higher Dragoon count for DeWalt abides. Is this it? He's not going to be able to push through just yet, but with more Dragoons rallying in, it looks like DeWalt might have finally done it.
Yeah, DeWalt with 5 goons picking off probes that we know Ghost Dark is already lacking. He's got 4 gate up, but now DeWalt has breached the natural. He can start building a natural himself. He's gonna pick off the Robo maybe. He can pick off goons coming out one at a time. He's gonna pick off the Reaver as it pops out.
Oh, well, he's still targeting the Dragoon, but he doesn't have any Scarabs. It still has to build them. And one more shot. There it goes. And that's gotta be it.
He's got 3 goons versus 1. This is gonna fall. Luckily for Ghost of Dark, he's got more goons popping out. Zealot is trying to get out, but DeWalt is scrambling to send more goons across the map. He just flat out has too many units now. Ghost of Dark cannot reach critical mass to kill these goons himself. He's down workers now. Full or half a pro pull right here. Oh my god, they're getting one-shotted.
Yeah, I mean, the Natural's in shambles. There's even more coming across the map, and eventually there's going to be another Reaver out for DeWalt. I think that might be just the nail in the coffin. Dragoons killing off workers. There's 11 to 21. So, I mean, this is just critical damage from the Russian Protoss.
Well, Ghost of Dark's gonna hold on for now. Okay, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's got DeWalt has so many goons. He's got a Reaver coming. He's gonna try and save his Nat, but he's just moving into death. Probes soak up some hits, but there's 6 goons versus 3. It's just a matter of time before Ghost of Dark taps out.
Yeah,
we're at 9 probes.
I mean, we might just normally be at 9 probes this game. It's Ghost of Dark we're talking about. Naturals, like I said, in shambles. It should be GG at any minute now. That's it, GG. Ghost of Dark taps out, and DeWalt will take a 2-0 victory over the Peruvian Protoss player to advance on to the final match in Group D.
Yeah, DeWalt takes it, but looks really shaky here. Like, we thought for sure he's going to overwhelmingly win that fight at the end. Yeah. And he loses the shuttle and the Reaver.
Yeah, DeWalt's Reaver control is really questionable, whereas normally you'd expect that to be one of his big strengths. DeWalt spent some time in Korea here, like really training hardcore, and one of the things that really improved was his Reaver control. He's so good at that normally, but now, I mean, look, it is Russia to South America. That's just a little bit of a long way, so there might be some extenuating circumstances, but that's not going to happen when we get into our next game, which is our final game, and that is Kogut versus DeWalt, which should be choice.
Yep, it should be good. Kogut looked pretty good versus Bonnet, but Bonnet barely holding in that crazy carrier game. But I think Kogut has a good chance making it out versus DeWalt. DeWalt is kind of shaky today, and we still haven't seen exactly what Kogut's TVP is looking like other than, you know, the carrier game, which looked pretty solid, except for the carriers just slowly building up. So our final match is going to be Kogut versus DeWalt. What a hype game to end on, because these are 2 people that you expect to see every single season, top 4 at least.
Oh, easily. Yeah, this is one of these players is going to be a surprise elimination. And there's only one way to find out, and that is by taking a quick break. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll have the exciting conclusion of the group of death in the round of 16, and we'll also know our full bracket for the round of 8. So you don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The last game of the night.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BSL Rapid Nyokin here for our final group of the night, our final series in the final group of the night. I think this is going to be our best matchup of the night. I mean, it's still hard to pass up that DeWalt Kogut game, so our Moneth Kogut game. But now we've got DeWalt and Kogut playing off against each other, and I mean, how do you predict who's going to come out on top here?
Yeah, I don't think you can, because it looks like, or we thought probably Bonnet's getting down first, right?
Yeah.
Most likely. So this is pretty much what we were expecting to see. DeWalt versus Kogut. DeWalt has looked shaky. Kogut looked pretty good, but not able to seal the deal versus Bonnet on Kogut on Whiteout. So it feels like this may be a very even series, finally, because every other series has not been that close.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard group, and actually, when you think about the groups that Kogut has had, he's had a pretty difficult trip here because he was in the group with Dragon and Eon Zerg. I don't think anybody expected Eon Zerg to be eliminated in the round of 24. And then he advances on to this group, which is the group of death. So, yeah, I'm not sure if Mrs. Zero just really doesn't like Kogut or something, but he's a great player. It's just going to be a very difficult group. And I think the more surprising stat is to see DeWalt, who was like a quarter finalist for like 4 seasons in a row, and has been eliminated in the round of 16 for the last 2 seasons. And he's had incredibly hard groups, so it's not like it's a fluke or anything. It's not like he's bad now. He's still incredibly good, but at least today he looks a little bit shaky.
Yeah, and it really looks like he may be out in top 16 again, potentially.
Yeah.
So kind of rooting for him to make it out so he can kind of get rid of that curse of the round of 16. Also rooting for Kogut because, you know, it's been a while since we've seen him. He's a Terran player.
Yeah, that's
so I'm always excited to see Terran players.
Bias.
And it would give us True Touch versus, you know, Kogut in the bottom side of the bracket. If that was to happen, we could see if Wraithman actually is that good going up against the
He's
best.
so good at it. If he gets to play his game, I mean, that just looks great. So I'm pretty excited to see this. You can see the stats we were talking about there. Even though Kogut did take a break for a while, he's coming back and he looks on point. For DeWalt, maybe not so much, but he has the higher pedigree. He's got 750 BSL points. Like, that's giant. Nobody's got that. Well, okay, Bonnet's got that much. A few people have those numbers of points, but the reason he has that is because he's consistent. Season 3, winner, semifinals, quarterfinals, semifinals. He's just so good. And for Kogut, he's always been good, but he hasn't reached that super top level in 2 years. So let's see if he can return to that level as we get into our first game of our last series of the night. The map is Whiteout, and it's DeWalt versus Kogut. Let's see who's going to advance on to the round of 8.
In the bottom middle, in the blue, representing Protoss, it is DeWalt.
That's right. And his opponent in the red, playing Terran from Poland. This is Kogut.
Yep, so we did just see an epic game versus Bonnet on here. We saw Kogut play this versus Cheetech in a previous round, and he ended up going hard FD with the 10-10-10 and 2 tons of Marines, tons of tanks, and he had big time success with that. We'll have to see, is he going to go for standard play? Is he going to be aggressive versus DeWalt? We've also seen him open with an aggressive play versus Ghost Suit Arc, going with Vultures. And all day today, he's been going for some type of aggro play. Well, except for the one game versus Ghost Suit Arc. After the failed drop, he went into 7.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But other than that, everything has looked like he's going for a timing, and generally DeWalt does very well versus timing.
Yeah, so for DeWalt, his ability to scout or just figure it out, like what you're doing when you're going for one of these timings, is super ghosted. So it's not an easy thing to do, and he's very good at it. Besides just being a very good player, but you do have to figure that out. So let's see if he can do that. As far as opening builds go, I wouldn't expect to see anything cheesy or strange from either player. But Kogut, every once in a while, he's like, wait a second, what's that unit that I built to win the game? Oh, it's a Wraith. And he just goes 2-port Wraith randomly, and you're just like, wait, that's not a TVP build. But unless he just goes totally off the wall, I'm expecting a 1-1-1 from Kogut, and for DeWalt to also play pretty standardly.
Yeah, we may see some more drop play from Koget. This map tends to be very favorable towards drops, but DeWalt's going to know that, and he's going to know who he's facing, someone that favors Starport play. So if we do see Starport, I don't expect DeWalt to take much damage. We do have standard play from both players. It was 12 gas. We do have cybernetics for DeWalt. No zealot pressure this time, unlike what Bonneth went for. Now, Koget is playing safe. He ended up scouting the middle for potential proxy gates. There's nothing there. Luckily, he goes to the bottom. He's going to get off the first scout, and everything for now looks just very normal. And one thing I'm noticing consistently, versus Bonneth, DeWalt scouted very slow. Versus Ghostly Dark, he was never scouting as fast as Ghostly Dark, and he's just now sending out a probe. And versus someone like Koget, who does vary his builds, this is dangerous he's not going to get in and see anything.
Yeah, and like I said, drops are very powerful, not only for that reason, but also because Koget really likes Starport play. Now, you can't just blindly go that every single game, but that's my thought about how he's going to play this. Range on the way just now started, and the SCV is going to get in and see that, so you can maybe think that indicates no DTs or anything super crazy with the open or with the gas early on. There's the bunker to start preparing that expansion, so at least that looks pretty normal.
Now that bunker does look a little far forward, maybe not. I'm just imagining, actually it's not that far forward. So sometimes players build a bunker abnormally forward to kind of disguise whether there's a command center behind it, whether they're going 2-fact or something like that. And a lot of Protoss players will end up sending their goon in pretty deep to try and check for it. Now, Koget is hiding an SCV. This may be proxy Starport. This is something that sometimes Flash goes for. Now, the probe doesn't get in, like I said, but he doesn't know. Is there a command center?
So he's going to dive with the Dragoon to see if there's a CC or not. Oh, no, he snuck the probe through.
No,
wait, no, he didn't. What?
But he at least saw the command center.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the big brain move is you tank the Marines in the bunker with the Dragoon and then run the probe through to try to get up the ramp into the main. And he almost did it. That was way too close. But the mission accomplished is to see the CC coming through, so you know you're not getting 2-fact.
Look at that SCV. Manages to avoid the goon just barely. Probe on the ramp will deny the scout for now.
You guys thought Injustice was a fighting game, but no, it's scouting and TVP.
He's going to kill? No, that's an SV. You don't kill anything.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do? Fight it? It's a Gundam. So that's the scout coming in for Koget. He sees everything. Not that there's much to see here, but the double Dragoon run by Protoss players. You can't stop him. He's going to get in. He's going to snipe an SCV. There is a tank here, but he's fighting from low ground to high ground. What are we going to just run right back out? I think not.
I like how he gets that SCV at the right.
SCV on the command center. Are you kidding me?
He doesn't notice. He didn't send an SCV to build it, so it's just hanging there.
Oh my god.
Oh no, disaster strikes.
Well, I mean, how do you expect that to happen? There's no justice in this world.
Well, I mean, there was some justice.
Oh,
there.
well,
the
yeah.
goon got caught and got punished. That's a move that Artosis is cringing about whenever 2 goons, 3 goons run by the bunker. But the command center gets delayed. DeWalt's got his Nexus almost done. Looks like we may actually have instant 3-fact or something for Koget. It looked like an SCV was coming down to build. No, actually just going to be transferring. So he is just going standard 2-fact follow-up. Instant gas at his natural. Usually this means we're going to be going fast armory, but because he has a second factory, maybe we're just building up our gas count so we can go into fast 5 or 6-fact.
Look, if he goes that route, I mean, that's going to be so potent. Obviously, the delayed command center is not ideal, but for Bonneth on the other, or not Bonneth, God, they're both just good Protoss players. For DeWalt on the other side, I just really want to see something that renews my faith in either his Reaver control or I guess whatever he wants to go into. It's OBS on the way, which isn't a big mystery. You kind of need some way to deal with either mines or just get info on what the Terran player is doing. Cold, dark world out there. And neither player should be doing anything anytime soon, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is just to push the goons
Yeah.
back and siege up. This is actually kind of risky to be this far forward. Not that you're expecting to have like 10 goons there, but you know, if this was somebody like Ghostly Dark who would have 10 goons, those tanks would instantly be dead. I love DeWalt's pylons around the side of the base so he can see incoming drops. Now we do have an eBay for Koget, and I don't see a turret ring. I don't see turret at the natural. So what is this actually intended to be? It looks like we are just going to be anti-Reaver turrets, try and prevent them from getting in and dealing a bunch of damage. Now, we don't see an armory anywhere. We don't see an academy anywhere. We don't see factories coming anywhere. And we've passed the point that I think you're going to start building mass factories, which is 630. So I'm not sure what, oh, there's a factory. So the gas is for a timing, but we're starting to approach the point where Protost's third Nexus Econ is going to start kicking in. They're going to be able to build up 10 or 8 gate or something like that. So I don't know if this is actually going to work, but Kogut is building nonstop tanks. He's going to have so many tanks when he actually moves out.
Yeah, he didn't lose any tanks. Like, it's not like the Protoss was diving for tank kills, right? He got 2 SCVs. That's about it. So even though the Dragoon count is pretty decent, what are you going to do? Fight siege tanks?
We do have a shuttle coming out, so he's going to be going for a shuttle bomb once they start coming out. The third, fourth, and fifth factory going up lets DeWalt know that this is 100% a timing. I think DeWalt just cuts probes here. Maybe he builds like a couple more to send to the third base and just goes Citadel, and he should be able to hold it. But that is so many tanks. We see that Kogut is starting to cut SCVs himself. He's stuck at 36 SCVs. So this is it. He's all in basically with a 5 factor. There's no +1. There's no nothing, no big SCV count. And DeWalt is just going to try and delay with these goons. He needs to, because he needs to get speed.
I don't think Kogut knows about the 4th Block Expo right now. So as long as that comes up, then we're good.
Shuttle bomb with no anti-air.
Oh no, we have
no vultures either.
Yeah,
oh my god.
The tanks in the back unsieged, so maybe it won't be the most effective, but dropping them on the tanks is already going to do a lot towards taking them out. Now the tank count is so high here. He's just A-moving through DeWalt's army.
Yeah, but he's losing tanks to goons. They're 2-shotting tanks. But is there still just too many tanks? There is 5 fact for Kogut, but DeWalt should have 6 gate or so. He's got his Citadel done. We need to instantly get speed here. It's only 5 gate. Did he just barely lose too many goons?
I mean, speed did finish, so look at how fast those vultures are. They're going to be able to run up here, reinforced. The SCVs blocking are very, very powerful. Now, he didn't lose another one there. He still got 2. He can start hard pushing here. This is what Koguts do best.
Yeah, well, we've seen this before.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to have a carrier save from DeWalt.
Yeah, if he starts going carriers now, it's way too late. But, when you go for 5-fact timing like this, you can't let Protoss just sit there and build gates or build goons and zealots. And we saw Bonnet use to success shuttling over some goons to the side of his base. That might be the winning move for DeWalt. If he can't bust through the entrance right here, maybe set up a flank. He's already eliminated a lot of the tank count. 1 vulture denied. Oh, what are we gonna get on? I thought that mine connection or mine might connect onto the probe, onto the goons, but he shuts down the third base at least. And now that there's no third base income for DeWalt, he's in big time trouble.
Yeah, this is actually starting to get a little crazy. The vultures, I mean, how do you fight that? You'll never be able to get past the vultures to the tanks. He might be able to shuttle bomb. Obviously, that's one good way to take them out. But I think Kogut's going to be kind of hip to his jive and not siege all the tanks.
I think Kogut's already done it. He's denied the third base. He's got a decent amount of tanks. He's got turrets set up. He just all that's lacking here is we need a bunker. Bunker would soak up so many hits, and that's it.
Yeah, continuing his forward push with these turrets. That first one is a little out there, but just buying time. The tanks aren't in range of the Nexus, so you can still hang on a little bit more. Turrets are not going to be as effective as
double shuttle bomb.
Yeah, double shuttle bomb. I mean, is that even enough to do it? There are mines out here, so maybe you mine drag into them too. Either way, everything's going to blow up. So whose everything blows up faster? I think Kogut's got such a deep line here in this tunnel. How do you break that? Oh, he scans the extra base.
That's his moment of opportunity. As soon as vultures go to mid right, I think that's when he's got to go for the drop.
He sees the vultures up here, and I think he agrees. Shuttles getting ready to go, but a scan on the high ground reveals the shuttle's positioning, so he's actually going to maneuver them to the other side, to the other high ground, and try to come in from a different angle.
How do we actually drop on this? There's like turrets literally everywhere. He's going to try and come here from this angle.
Yeah, he's going to come from behind.
Oh, here we go.
All right, going for it. Dropping the shuttles off at the back. The Zealots get on top of the tanks in the back, but the tank line is so deep. Also, some unsieged tanks in the back help clear out the Zealots, but the tanks in the back hold on. The Zealots can't break through from the front. Everything else explodes. I think this is it, Nyoken.
Yet DeWalt has nothing left. GG. God, Kogut with the timings. He's just so strong with it. It looks exactly like the Bonnet game. And these Protoss players can't stop it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have emergency carriers to save you and a base for you to drop 12 probes off at after you mine out your main. It just sounds a little comical when you say it, but that's what happened. We promise. Bonnet's game versus Kogut should have looked like this, but it didn't. It's just miraculous. So Kogut does it. He makes that hard push happen. And I like to think that this is kind of cosmic justice for Kogut. After losing that game, he definitely should have won. Now coming back and taking a game off DeWalt here in the final match.
Yeah, and I don't even think DeWalt necessarily did much wrong there. Like, he found isolated tanks with the shuttle at the front. When you see that as Protoss, you're like, thank you, Terran.
Oh yeah,
I'll take
for free.
I'll take 7 tanks, trade goons for that. Yet Kogut just made tanks nonstop from those add-ons all game long. He just had so many. And then shutting down the third, never letting that get up and running. Just amazing play from Kogut. And now DeWalt, he's got to make something happen. And he's picking the best map he could possibly pick, Escalade. So hard to push on this map.
Yeah, how do you, because once you go from your high ground, you go down to another low ground and then down to a third low ground. So you have to go up 2 sets of stairs to come up when you're crossing the map. Really difficult to move across. So hopefully that makes that push a little bit harder to do, at least hopefully for DeWalt. So let's get into it. It's 1-0 in favor of Kogut. If he wins this game, he's moving on to face another very powerful Polish player in the round of 8. If he doesn't, then our series is tied up and DeWalt gets one more chance. So let's get into it. Our map is Escalade. This is game number 2. All right, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner, in the blue playing Terran from Poland, this is Kogut.
In the bottom left, in the red, he is down 0-1, 1 game away from being actually eliminated again in the round of 16. It is DeWalt. So DeWalt, I think, actually played pretty well there. It was going fine. You know, the goon run by, even though 1 goon got killed, he sniped an SCV, he delayed the CC quite a bit. Kogut's factories going up were actually slightly delayed because of that, but still DeWalt could not stop the timing of Kogut. Now I wonder if he's going to try and be aggro like what Bonnet tried to do versus Kogut on this map. We already saw Reaver Goon drop onto Kogut and Kogut couldn't deal with it. That might be a recipe for success for DeWalt, but of course these games, you know, they're played in succession. It's not like DeWalt saw that game, right? So he has no idea what actually killed Kogut earlier. So we'll have to wait and see what DeWalt has come up with, because so far it looks like the push that Kogut's going for, the Protoss players can't stop it right now, except for Bonnet, you know, taking it an extra 20 minutes with the carry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you, like, that's not a build, guys. Don't do this build at home. we gotta put a disclaimer on watching Bonnet games. It's just like, just don't. But this matchup seems a little bit different. For one, I don't think DeWalt is such a carrier man. What is this probe doing?
He's scouting center for proxies or just going for a cross scout. I mean, it's very rare that Terran would ever BBS in the middle, but I guess he definitely does not want to be eliminated.
Yeah, usually if you BBS, you're making the 50-50 call and putting it between 2 bases. But I don't know, that wouldn't be a good idea on Escalade. I'm always skeptical when I see cross scouts, because like if your opponent scouts cross, or spawns cross, you don't necessarily need to scout them first. But either way, it's an incorrect scout, which is also kind of surprising. Usually we have correct scouts here in BSL. It's kind of weird, but I want to see Kogut go for more of this air play. Although, look, if your pushes are working out, you might as well keep it coming.
Yeah, he does go for 12 gas again. We do have another standard build for DeWalt. There's no Zealot this time. It is just straight Cybernetics. And I'm not expecting anything special from him, such as, you know, 1 base Robo, 1 base Citadel. This is probably just going to be straight range for him. I think I've played DeWalt on the ladder maybe like 10 times, and I only remember 1 time him ever doing something other than range expand. It was just like a DT into 2 base Arbiter follow-up. So this has got to be just straight range as it comes in, and standard factory for Kogut. He's pulled off a gas. So again, we're just going to have another, you know, natural taken from him in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's addictive about range expand is that it just works.
kind of catches everything. I mean, obviously, unless you're getting like BBS or something stupid like that. But I'm just trying to think to myself, like for DeWalt, what needs to work a little bit better? One of the things that's really potent at stopping these big Terran pushes is if you can get out there with goons and like force a siege up in the middle of the map. But Kogut just A-moved. He was okay trading tanks for Dragoons, which is a little bit weird because he just had so many.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to throw there, losing all of those tanks, but in the end, it ended up working out for him. Kogut's going to take his natural. Meanwhile, nothing abnormal for DeWalt. He's just going to match the Nexus or match the command center timing. Pretty soon, we're already back on gas for Kogut, so I'm really just looking for where's the starport? Are we going to go for harassment? Are we going to see another second factory, or is it going to be an armory? What's the move here? He is in the dark now, and generally they've been going for eBay once he's been in the dark, so we may see that come in pretty soon. But other than that, nothing abnormal. I do see the Nexus now coming down for DeWalt. He's running by again. Where's Artosis here?
Yeah, look, these Protoss players, they can't keep getting away with it.
The tank is actually pretty slow to come out, so he's actually going to be able to deal a lot of damage to this command center. Maybe he can force it. No, he's going to.
Yeah,
that's a smart move. And look at how tanky these goons are. You see how he made sure to move the one in front that didn't take any damage, so they still have full health.
Yeah, so he tanks one way with one shield. Oh, okay. Let's fix that rally point. That's a little scary, but either way, the delay on the CC, oh no, it's a couple seconds, but it's coming up this time. Repair on the tank just to make sure it doesn't sustain any extra damage. And no, he's running forward. He's gonna snipe the tank. What? No, the repair. It's not enough. He's gonna dive forward, pick off a tank with 3 Dragoons.
Yeah, but I think he's overestimating his ability here. Yeah, SCVs and Marines come out to help his tank, but the tank is out in front, but it's gonna have high ground now. So these 2 goons are actually gonna get punished for trying to step out like this. Now they're cornered in the back, so this tank can easily kill them. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, one gets popped. 1,
Goodbye.
2, one more shot. So close, but still, I mean, I'm surprised he got 1 tank to begin with.
Yeah, he lost his first tank, but that's something you're not going to see often where, or at least not in an Artosis stream. That run by would have gotten that second tank also.
Easily.
And all three goons would have survived too. So Kogut actually traded very well there. 1 tank, 1 Marine or 2 Marines for 3 goons. Nice trade for him. He's going into armory here. This is definitely Escalade specific, so hard to push on this map, so I like this follow-up from him. And because DeWalt lost those 3 goons, you know, he doesn't know what Kogut's doing. It could be another push, so he's forced to build more units, which delays his 3rd Nexus, so I like this. We see that this is actually going to be a Reaver, so this is going to play into the hands of Kogut, already going for armory with Goliath and range. This is great.
Yeah, I think it definitely is looking good. Academy coming in, so we can check that one off just in case there's any weird shenanigans. The pylon in the middle, though, I mean, mostly that's looking for, I guess, pathing, but we could put something there eventually. Rebos on the way for DeWalt, and I actually really like this. This is where you redeem yourself, okay? Look, we've had some skepticism about the Reaver control. How good is it or isn't it? Here's where we find out in the elimination match.
Kogut is a bit worried. You see he's walled off his Nat now. Remember, we've already saw the Bonnet game where he got busted like that. He's decided that's not happening this time. Full wall. And actually, surprisingly, DeWalt's going for a very similar follow-up. He's got multiple gates, goons, Reaver coming in. You know, I don't expect him to drop where Bonnet did, but it's potentially could happen. And look how delayed 3rd Nexus is for DeWalt. It's still not in sight. I don't see any, like, Stargate. Okay, Citadel is coming in. So actually, this looks like we're going to have another 2-base play follow-up from DeWalt here. It's going to be Arbiters this time, whereas we saw Bonnet go for Carriers. Goliath is already... Ooh, that shuttle's got to be careful. Yeah. Range is about to kick in. It will take a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's not done yet. You know, it's easy to see a shuttle with a Reaver and say, well, you just put that Reaver here, and then you kill the probes. I'm like, well, because Scarabs are so finicky, you never want to just dive in for that one big moment. Well, I mean, maybe you do if you're like a ladder Protoss, but you want to like set yourself up for success, and you don't want to ensure that you want to ensure you don't lose the Reaver. But hey, getting in here, he's gonna tank a tank shot, gets 1 SCV, and that's it. But wow, he actually tanks a second one, but the SCVs are already out of there.
Yeah, so good hold from Kogut there.
Look at that Rainbow Reaver. It almost never looks like that.
Yeah. And he's building actually a second Reaver, which I find a little bit surprising. There's a Stargate, so it is going to be 2-base Arbiter with Reavers. Interesting follow-up from him. We do have 4-gate, and I don't think Koget realizes that this is necessarily just 2-base Arbiter, because when he scanned, he didn't see really, a lot of buildings being built. So he might be thinking that this is actually 3-base when we know that this is actually 2-base. But regardless, Koget's in a fantastic position. Minimal losses. He's got his upgrades going. He should be having Starport and Science Facility coming up pretty soon.
Looks like we're going back in with a shuttle. Has there a turret been put up? No, I guess he doesn't have one. So might try it again if he's not careful. There's a barracks that I think can... Oh, actually, it can't see the shuttle. That's right out of range. But as it comes in, the Goliath will be ready to go.
Yeah, and it has range, so it's going to be able to deal a lot of damage as soon as it gets even remotely close. But here comes Bonnet. We've seen this. DeWalt. This looks very reminiscent of what we literally just saw about an hour ago.
He scans to see the Stargate, so he'll at least know what's coming. That's not going to be what he has to worry about, though. This push is here.
The Nat is very open with the racks floating. We can easily bust through here. It's 4 tanks versus a lot of goons and a Reaver, but DeWalt looks like he's not going to go for it. He's just going to set up a big contain, try and, deny the 3rd base attempt from Koget. 3rd Nexus is still not up for DeWalt. He's building so many units off of his 2-base. He's got his tech going. He's got Arbiters coming out pretty soon, or at least starting pretty soon. But Koget started his +2 weapons. So in 3 minutes from now, Koget's going to have a big power spike. This looks like the Ghost Dark game where we just 7-facted, tons of SCVs, and just went for it.
Well, look, he does have that high tank count, so I'm waiting for it. What is... Oh, it's stuck on morphing. I was like, why is there an arrow on it? But no. So we've got the high tank count coming out, or the high factory count eventually. And, he's kind of covering his bases. He knows he doesn't need a ton of Goliaths because it's not carriers. It would be pretty weird if it was, but...
Well, DeWalt knows what this is because there's no 3rd base by now, and by now you definitely have a 3rd base as Terrence. So DeWalt is playing this correctly. Since he built Reavers, he can't afford a Nexus and go Arbiters while going versus this particular build. So this is what he's supposed to do. He's got 7 or 8 gate. He knows that this is like an all or nothing timing from Koget. Vulture's trying to run by, not getting any damage done.
Nope.
I think that DeWalt should be able to hold this pretty fine. He's up about 30 supply almost. Damn, another add-on for Koget. So we're going to have tons and tons of tanks pretty soon. But the Arbiter's almost out. And it's going to have stasis pretty soon, too.
Yeah, and that's when things start to get scary. Now, stasis isn't, an end-all, be-all. It's good, but you still have to hit it on a big clump of tanks. And sometimes you stasis the tanks in the front, and then the Zealots can't even get to the tanks in the back. So you really do have to be careful about that spell usage. That is a big power spike for DeWalt. So once that coincides, once we get that Arbiter out with stasis, it's time. He is getting up that 3rd base behind it. And once again, like you said, that Terran does not have a 3rd base here. So a lot of power from DeWalt kicking in here in the next minute or so.
Now remember, in the Ghost of Dark game, we were up like 50 supply. It was like 180 to 130. That's not the case this time.
Right.
DeWalt's up 30 supply. And Arbiter's out. And we know that +2 still needs a few more seconds to complete. How does he, look how clumped up that entrance is. I'm just waiting for some stasis to hit like 8 tanks. He needs to go right now because stasis energy is not available yet for this Arbiter. It's like at 85 or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is the anti-timing, right? As Protoss, you can't fight before you have that, and it looks like he's moving out. Oh, he's actually mining up the back of his base, maybe anticipating like a recall or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know if it's recall or stasis, so he's making sure vultures with mines are set up in position in the main. He's about to move out right now. He needs to slowly creep though, but now the Arbiter has stasis comboed with mass gateway units, comboed with Reavers. I think that this is going to get really ugly for Koget pretty soon.
Yes, look at that. Any one of those locations is just the most beautiful stasis you've ever seen, right?
He should just go now.
Yeah.
He just stasis him and go.
There's not even that many Goliaths to deny, like even the shuttle if you want to bomb in there, or okay, there's a science vessel out now, so that might be the one saving grace.
Yeah, vessel out, but no EMP. DeWalt's just like a shark in the water, just sitting here waiting for Kogut to make a move, and that's what he should be doing. He doesn't have to do anything. Let Terran just get bottled up. And look, how do you actually get out of this as Terran?
I mean, the tanks is actually, he's a little bit far forward. Okay, well, that is out of there. So a nice pick off. He did take a shot on one of those Reavers, but actually some great Scarabs picking off more and more. He needs to pick him up. No! Again, scuffed Reaver micro, but now he's just going for it. The tanks are pretty far out there. Where's the stasis? It does catch a big clump of tanks in the back, but the tank line is deep in there. So he does need to get the Zealots back there. I mean, there are still Zealots here fighting, but they're going to evaporate here pretty quickly. The Dragoon count is very high, but it's tough to break through this choke point.
Yeah, but it's okay. He whittled down so many tanks right there, and then he saves the majority of his goons. Freeing up the Reaver is actually okay, but not losing the Arbiter.
Oh my God, he's gonna get taken out. That is a huge pick off, and even though there's a lot of losses from Kogut, he's stabilized, taken out the Arbiter, and held his natural.
Yeah, but he's still okay because I know DeWalt has a backup Arbiter at his natural, and there's still so many goons there. He's lost really not much, just losing the Reavers and the Zealots. That's fine. He lost the Arbiter, I know. But because he has one to back it up, it's okay. He killed a lot of tanks there. Still loving DeWalt's position. Also, remember, it's not like Kogut has a third base or something. He's basically all or nothing on this 2 base. Free tank for, well, not free, but 2 goons for 1 tank. That's okay for DeWalt right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting pushed off this high ground, trying to maybe snipe another tank. Not going to happen here. Just stutter stepping his way backwards, making some good trades. And yeah, DeWalt's trades look pretty good, but we got to see what's coming up next. There's no like this is where if you're Bonnet, you're carrier transitioning, right?
Yeah. DeWalt is just all in with 1 Stargate, mass gateways. He's got forges going, but I'm not really too sure of his exact upgrades. But 2-1 Terran, such a big spike for them. Oh God.
Oh,
Kronos actually has 0-0, so that's horrible for him.
Yeah, super bad, and especially if he loses this big clump of Dragoons. He's doing a good job targeting mines and stutter stepping back, but eventually these vultures are going to deal with them.
Yeah, but goons are trading about as well as they're going to trade. They're going up against vultures here, but they're all going to fall down. Luckily for Kogut, he's not losing any tanks. Supplies are still in favor of DeWalt, though. I am liking DeWalt's position still, despite being at 0-0. It's okay. Really, he needs to have +1, though. That's a huge miss for him. Recall halfway done. I was actually worried that we were going to get recalled right now that DeWalt knew where the army was. The Reaver in the center of the map, just for no reason. But here comes Kogut. Oh my God, all those tanks could get stasis.
Oh my God, yeah, it's so clutch. There's an EMP ready on the Science Vessel too, if I'm not mistaken. Although I haven't seen that vessel in a cool minute, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's a very lonely Rebo out there with no shuttle to keep it safe, so kind of scary. The vultures could just dive on it if they wanted to.
We're mined out in the main. Okay, so this is it. Oh, here comes DeWalt right when he unsieges.
Running for it just in the nick of time. The siege is not in time, and there's a big stasis, catches 4 tanks in the back. The Zealots crushing up against that. They're going to push the vultures back and get on top of the soft white underbelly of the Terran tank army. The tank's going down, Kogut tapping out, and we've tied ourselves up in the series, Nyoken.
Yeah, DeWalt brings it back 1-1. Really nicely done from him. This is exactly how he should have responded after going for Reaver. And Kogut's 7 fact has finally been denied. His timing didn't work this time. But still, Kogut looked pretty good. But now DeWalt finally has a solid game under his belt, right when it matters.
Yeah.
We're going into the last 2 games, and now we finally look good.
I mean, we've looked good the whole time. But now the power push from Kogut has been denied. I think that's a real big turning point, because for Kogut, that's kind of his bread and butter. He used it versus Bonnet, almost won. He used it against DeWalt, won the first game. Finally, Bonnet's kind of figured out the secret sauce. And I think, honestly, the Arbiters were okay, but the bigger thing is just him being able to snipe tanks with Dragoons. He's always pulling off these sexy run-bys to get 1 or 2 SCVs. He's trading pretty decently against the tank count. And I don't know, how much of that do you think was just the map Escalade?
I think Escalade actually was a big factor there, because you saw how long it took for Kogut to actually do something. He's sieging, unsieging, being very cautious, going up ramps. If this is a different map, maybe not La Mancha, because it also has something like this, but Whiteout, we're not sieging, unsieging. We're just going for it. We're just going.
Yeah.
So we've still got high ground, low ground here on La Mancha. So Kogut, if he goes for a timing like that, DeWalt's going to have a little bit of time to exploit. Koget on the ramp. So let's see if Koget can actually get through 2-1, or is DeWalt going to finally have a good series here and eliminate Koget, one of our runner-ups in a previous BSL.
All right, here we are in the upper left-hand corner in the blue, playing Protoss from Russia. This is DeWalt.
And in the bottom left, in the red, he just lost, and his push was finally forwarded. It is Koget. Right, so Koget, at least we had a varied timing this time. It was not, 5-fact, no upgrades. This was with upgrades, 2-1. It was the Ghost to Dark variation.
Yeah.
But,
we're calling it the Ghost to Dark variation.
The Ghost to Dark game. La Mancha is hard to push across because it has the high ground. Also, if you try and go across that little bridge, you get choked up very easily. I know a lot of players complain about that. It's like, oh, I mistakenly went this way, and now my push is delayed, like 30 seconds. So if DeWalt can position like that again, and Koget goes for another timing, then I think DeWalt's got another good chance to fend it off pretty easily. He overwhelmed the army in the center of the map. He just had so much. So DeWalt looked really good last game. Now, will we see some more harassment type play from Koget? Like, are we going to go vulture drop? Are we going to have second factory with instant speed? Are we going to open vultures and go straight mines like he also did versus
I actually thought it might have been DeWalt going for like the craziness. Even though he's not that kind of player, you don't get to be a standard Protoss player without going through the valley of the shadow of death of being a cheesy Protoss player. So the builds are in there somewhere. I don't think he's going to do it. When you play standardly too much, it's like you can't do that. You really do need to mix in some cheese along the way. I thought this might have been it. Doesn't look like it.
Nope, probably just gonna be standard. I think the cheese for DeWalt is about as much as you're gonna get from him on last game when he goes Reaver 2-base Arbiter. I really don't think you're gonna see like DT. You're not gonna see really anything else from him. So I think now we're actually gonna see even more standard, like triple Nexus, Arbiter, Forge. Last game I was really worried because he didn't have +1 weapon, which you really need versus Terran when they have 2-1, but he had so much econ. He traded so well in the first engagement that it didn't make a difference. Now again, we do have 12 gas for Koget. He's really not willing to risk going for gases despite playing against somebody that plays so passive in DeWalt. Well, he's not even playing passive because he's been running by the bunker every single time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sure, that's hyper aggro. He's kind of, I don't know, abusing the map, saying, hey, you're not going to counter push me here anyway. And at least he's getting a little bit of damage. Probably we aren't going to see that this time around. Man, look at these scout patterns. They're just not good.
Yeah, actually, DeWalt, I think, has scouted last every single game versus Koget.
Oops.
Like, it is just not working out for him.
Revisit his scouting meta.
Yeah, so Koget's going to come in here. Might actually just slightly be too late. The Goon's going to pop out. DeWalt has no chance of getting a scout in. He's going to have to just deal with seeing a bunker. He's going to have to run by the tank again, run by the bunker with his Goon again to see if it is the command center or some type of one-base play. Now, Koget did get denied.
Torque.
Now he's going to see it. Like, nothing is going right for DeWalt.
He's trying to kill the SCV before he sees the pylon. I'm sorry, that's not how this works.
Actually, that is kind of scary if he loses the SCV because all he saw was the pylon building. It doesn't mean anything. He could build something or not build something there.
Okay, he's still going to get the SCV, so at least that's a moral victory. But seeing the pylon is the big one. You're right, he doesn't know what it is, but I guess he'll just run out there and check eventually.
Now look
what could it be?
Yeah, it's too late to be really a Citadel, but it could have been something, I guess. I like this Rax bunker placement. When he initially put down the bunker, I was like, hey, that's not centered. But look at the Rax. Lines up perfectly. He definitely wants you to get punished. If you're going to run a Goon in here, oh, look at that. Just blocks it with one SCV. Oh, and he saves it.
Wow, I'm impressed. The Gosu, Super Gosu save on that SCV keeps the Dragoons from running by, stays alive, and nice try, DeWalt. But I mean, third game in a row, it's coming.
Yeah, he's been trying to run by every single time. Now the goons have taken a bit of damage. The tank might actually get some HP damage done. There's 2 shots that, okay, backs off in time. Second factory going up. This looks like what we've seen all day long, just mass tank style. We don't see speed or anything coming in, no siege just yet, so he's just trying to get up. Oh, SCVs need to repair that bunker.
Yeah, where's the SCVs? You gotta pull.
He's okay. He's gonna get it up in time.
Just barely.
Second tank is gonna come out pretty soon. DeWalt needs to be careful because, yeah, we're going to lift the racks and try and poke down that one tank or one goon that's been damaged a little bit. Now, what's his follow-up going to be? We see Robo. Is he going to take a third Nexus? Is it going to be Reaver again? You know, more often these days, people just go Reaver, kind of give you control of the game, prevent Terran from going for timing. But we don't necessarily have to see that.
Trying to figure out what the follow-up is from here. I think from Kogut, you kind of know what you're going to get, right? The big tank timing. On the other side, DeWalt's been taking kind of late third bases. He's going like very safe, but let's see if he's going to go into Arbiter Tech here too, because I mean, obviously he's going to get the shuttle out, and oh, it's Reavers this time.
Yeah, he's got a shuttle coming in. I don't see the support bay just yet, but okay, there it is. Yeah, support bay 75% of the way done. So it is going to be Reavers again. Does look identical to last game, and we do have almost identical build, or no. A similar build, I think, to the Boneth game where he built turrets around his base, and then we ended up going for a mass tank vulture push. This time there's no upgrade, so it looks like we're going to have that again. Potentially, it had success versus Boneth despite losing the game. So we'll have to see if DeWalt can recognize this, because if it is another timing, he needs to do exactly what he did last game. Spam out gateways. Get Citadel. Get Arbiter. Do not try and take a third Nexus, because that's going to die.
Yeah, Nexus is not yet. I mean, if he does go for it, he can put it in like a different location, unless you run a vulture around to check. Maybe you get away with it. You don't need to take that risk, though. So he's putting up a pylon. Wall around his base, just thinking, okay, well, what if I get dropped? Just making sure that's not going to happen. That would kind of be an interesting mix-up, but what have we here?
Factories at the natural. I don't think I've ever seen anybody put factories at the natural. So this is going to be a hidden timing. The observer is going to come in here and see nothing. He's going to see 3 factories, maybe if it gets in. Oh, Reaver's going to try and come by. I think this is actually very smart, because the Reaver most likely comes through the top, sees there's only 3 facts, and he thinks, oh, this guy's just playing standard tank Goliath with upgrades, with a third factory. We see that this is a timing. And because of that, look at DeWalt. He's got a probe going to top middle. This is going to be a Nexus.
Oh, God. Yeah, if he throws down this Nexus right now, and it looks like he might.
And he's teching at the same time. You can't afford all these things and Reaver and stop the timing. This is actually genius.
Now, let's see what the Reaver does. It shouldn't actually accomplish anything, but if it does get damage done, then that's maybe a great equalizer. If he sees the... Oh, he sees the factories, and that's actually better than killing SCVs.
Yeah, that's actually huge. I don't know why he went to the natural and why there's no turret there, but he sees the factories, and now I don't think there's a Nexus going up at the third.
Yeah, he hasn't put it down yet.
Of course he's not going to put it out. He knows he needs units now. He's taking extremely hard with the... Oh my God, Kogut knows. It's time, baby. He's got so many tanks. Oh, those tanks almost shot that Reaver.
That was really close. But finally, DeWalt does pick up his Reaver, doesn't lose it. He's got a probe there too. I think he's going to use that to tank shots. Yep, there we go. So the tanks shoot, the Marines pop to the Reaver's Scarab, but that's, they're taking one for the team. At least DeWalt is out on the map and stopping this push from just running across.
Okay, Reaver Goon is very good at delaying a push like this, and he has to delay it because this is super strong. He's got to get up. His Arbiters were trying an engagement right now. Vultures are trying to deal as much damage as possible. Good splitting from DeWalt, only loses 1 Goon so far. Kills off a ton of Vultures.
I mean, we're going up to Arbs behind this, right? Yeah, Tribunal about 90% of the way done. He stopped this push really effectively.
Yeah, for now he stopped it, but he's losing a lot of Goons. He's killed off a bunch of Vultures. Oh man, and this is another position where you can just slowly turret push across them. Actually, I thought we were closer to the natural, but high ground advantage for DeWalt right now. Reaver needs to get some haymakers on top of here.
Oh, a DT comes in. If he snipes this SCV, that could be big.
I don't think he has a comsat.
Wait, does he not? What?
No comsat.
Oh my god. 1 DT gonna push this all the way back. DeWalt, the god, perfectly placed to push Kogut back to his natural.
DT is actually good. Oh my god, he's running over mines as a DT is coming in.
That is not a recipe for success.
Okay, he doesn't trigger any mines, but that's a...
He's gonna lose a free tank.
That's a bad rally, and this is why you can't go across this bridge.
Yep. No, do not cross the bridge. Do not collect 200 minerals, I guess. Reaver stopping that bridge from being crossed.
Oh, no.
DT stopping on the other side. Scan will be done here in just a second. So there it is. Takes out the DT. And now we're back to pushing.
He kills a DT, but every scan is so critical for him because Arbiter's coming. You can kill all the DTs you want, but if we don't have a scan for the... Oh my god.
Picks off another tank. This push is just so late.
And this DeWalt is doing exactly what you should be doing. He knows that there's no scans.
Oh, kills the turret again, so he can't get rid of the obs. Kogut, he's late.
Yeah, and DeWalt behind this is just building up tons of units. You see he still has no third nexus because just like last game, he just has to not die. He's got 8 gateways. He's got his Arbiter coming out. This is exactly what he should be doing. And now that he knows that the scans were delayed so long to kill that one DP, he knows there's not a lot of energy available. So once the Arbiter comes out, he should probably just sack one more.
He just straight up tank that with a Reaver? Okay.
He didn't think there
was
was
an unhappy yellow bug. I do not want to be a Reaver in DeWalt's army.
Yeah, so Kogut, he's on the ropes here. He's trying to make something happen. He's cutting so much to do it, but so is DeWalt, but he's already got perfect saturation with 45 probe. Speed is about to kick in. Once speed kicks in, I think it's lights out for Kogut, but he has a lot of tanks. But you got to push faster than this, you know? Like,
what's he gonna start building turrets now? Hard push all the way there? I don't think so.
By the time he gets all the way to the nat or the third base, there might be multiple Arbiters out. These Reavers are denying the push for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, DeWalt is pretty solid. He's got 50 probes behind that, still only 40 SCVs for Kogut. I mean, he is still on 2 base, I guess, but I don't know if we're planning for our future, right? We haven't decided what we're going to major on in college. We don't know what job we're getting. Kogut is still kind of living in the moment. He's peaking in high school right now. So if he can make it up to that high ground, that's a big accomplishment. But how do you break that? It's got Reavers on top of it.
Yeah, but there's only one Reaver left. The Reaver shot takes out another toe. It's like at 1 health. Almost gets taken out. DeWalt is up 30 supply though. Arbiter is out now, and now he's about to move up high ground. You gotta be careful.
Oh, big Scarab connection. The siege comes through. It's gonna pop the Reaver if it shoots. It does. But another great Scarab connection. Here comes the Arbiter coming forward. Now, do we have a scan? I guess this turret's there. Big stasis on 4 tanks in the back. It's not gonna block the Zealots, and they are gonna get dropped off onto the tanks there in the back lines as well. There's just single-digit tanks down now, only down to 1. The Dragoons pushing forward, and Kogut is out of there. DeWalt is going to take the 2-1 in the decider match to advance on to the round of 8.
Yeah, so DeWalt looked shaky in the beginning stages of our group, but bringing it together versus Kogut, the timings for Kogut just were not working out versus DeWalt. You could tell that he practiced it a lot because he had everything planned out, build at the natural, make sure it doesn't get scouted. We saw the turret ring to prevent scout. It was a great plan, but just not enough today.
Yeah, not enough today. It felt like DeWalt was really struggling in a lot of his previous games, even against Ghost to Dark. It was rough, but he figured out this Kogut push. He really adapted super well on the fly. Finally had some really good shuttle Reaver control, and it just felt like he started to kind of feel a little bit more confident in that last game. And so finally, for the first time in 2 seasons, DeWalt is in the playoffs.
Yeah, and actually those factories at the natural, I was really excited to see them there, and then DeWalt sees them.
Yeah.
It was like
so close.
It was such a smart play because you saw the probe was setting up to take the third nexus. If you take the third nexus, that's less like 4 goons? Like
way scarier. And more than that, you don't know about the timing of when that push is going to happen. So, I mean, it didn't kill any probes, but a mission accomplished nonetheless. And in the end, our Protoss overlords, Bonneth and DeWalt, will advance on to the round of 8 through the group of death. Such a strong group. Kogut really put up, I think, the strongest fight we've seen anyone against Bonneth, but still a really, really incredible play. And that makes the round of 8 look like this. Medino playing Gorinich.
TT1 versus Bonnet, Terror versus Oya, and True Touch versus DeWalt. What are you most excited for, Nyokin?
I actually like TT1 versus Bonnet because I feel like we saw this last season, didn't we?
Did we? I think so.
I think we did. So we're going to have a rematch from last season. I'm curious to see of Medino's state because he looked really good TVT, right?
He really did.
He just busted through all the TVT games, but he's going up against Gorinech's TVZ. And I mean, how can you argue True Touch versus DeWalt, right? Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
the all-stars are going up against DeWalt, who's always very good. I mean, actually, all these matchups are very good for different reasons. Terra versus Oya, Oya super aggro with the genius mind game with the 3-gate in the center.
Look, he is really on fire this season, and for Terror, he is the last hope for South America. So we're gonna have a oddly high viewership that day, but it's gonna be really exciting to see if he can actually take Oya out and advance on. I mean, this is a guy that's made it all the way before. I'm actually just can't wait to watch these games. Round of 8 looking so sick. And I mean, after that, we've got semifinals, finals, another insane season. And this is the last season before the epic, insane prize pool we've got for BSL season 10. So it just sets up for an incredible next season. This season, equally incredible. Can't wait for the round of 8. But you're going to have to, because not only are we done with our broadcast for today, the next broadcast will be 2 weeks from now. So we're skipping next week due to RGC qualifiers. So the Russian Cyber Games, sort of the spiritual successor to the Corrupted Cup, will be happening. And that means that this is the way the schedule looks for the BSL Season 9 Pro League playoffs. We've got the round of 8 starting on the 5th or the 16th of January, February, March, April, May. And the round of 8 concluding just a couple days or 1 week later. There we go. Round of 4 immediately after that on the last day of May, and then the finals on the 7th of the following month of June. So do not miss any of that. Take a screenshot, take a picture with your phone of your computer screen, however you want to remember the dates for BSL. It's 2 weeks until that round of 8.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm also, a bit happy I can fix my sleep schedule a little bit. I've been just staying
to
up.
Live like a human.
Yeah, I just go to sleep at like 10, 11 in the morning for the past 2 weeks. So we get
I woke up at 11 p.m. today, so we're not having a fun time here, guys. Well, it's gonna be a rough week, but I'm gonna have a good week. I hope you guys do too. I hope we see you back here in 2 weeks for the round of 8. But like I said, that does it for us today. I want to give one final shout out to our Patreons and everybody for supporting the BSL. We had over 700 viewers today. And if all you guys can do is watch, keep tuning in. It's so good to see you all here. But if you can support us, support the BSL on Patreon. Just like these guys, Star Lover at $100 a month, Striker at $50, Kamchak Moontang Spacewalk, Lingen Pump, and LML at $20, and everybody else out there who is cool. And yet, I'm still not reading their names because they're not paying us enough. So if you too want to help support the BSL, you can do that on patreon.com/bombastic. You can also subscribe to the channel. We had a ton of gifted subs earlier today from Grulag and Star Lover and a couple of other people that also gifted subs and subscribed. Got the Machine Prime sub. So very happy to see so much support out there from everybody in chat. Really do appreciate all the love. So thanks so much for watching this week of BSL, the exciting conclusion of the round of 16. We've got the round of 8 coming up once again in 2 weeks, so do not miss it. I think we're done.
We're done.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to kick Nyokin out of my house, and you guys have a good couple of weeks before we see you back here for the round of 8. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for the round of 8 in 2 weeks.